Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
All right, guys, it's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right? We all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we? When did it end? All the enjoyment, I'm sad. When did it end? All the enjoyment, I'm sad.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
Senate race.
It's not going to happen.
Republican Kevin
Go, Kamala.
will be returning to the Senate from North Dakota. ABC News can also project a winner in the Senate race.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't have to freak out right now. We don't even have to fucking, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because, bitch, recount the vote!
Guys, I just voted, and I chose family.
Let's end this reign of terror now.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
We're moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on.
I love all of this. Let's do it. Let's do this.
We were wrong. It's an utter betrayal for anybody that is not a cisgendered white Christian. If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
Right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense, brought to you by our merch shop.
Buy our shit.
Buy our shit. Link in the description below. Today we're talking about the election fallout. We are planning or trying to get a special guest, Mr. JonesX, on this evening. He tried logging in a little earlier, but was having some audio issues, so hopefully we get him back. And if and when we do, we will patch him in.
Yep.
Oh, it might be back. Much better. Let's go ahead and
let's go ahead and get you on here.
go ahead and introduce Mr. JonesX, the lost art of common sense. Maybe. Oh, there you go. So we've I don't know if you want to kind of give a rundown or tell our handful of listeners about yourself or why you would like to be on the show. I know you're I watched some of your videos. I mean, it seems like you have a lot of competing idea discussions on your platform.
Absolutely. I mean, if I would call myself anything, I would say that I work in the art of deconstruction, of taking things that people think they know to be true or know to be accurate or have been conditioned to believe, and helping them unpack them, helping them ask themselves, why do I think this? Why do I believe this? Is this based in reality or is this based in social programming? But outside of that, the biggest part of the work that I do has nothing to do with my online presence and has everything to do with my presence in the community.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
I feel like I
Yeah, I
grew up
mean,
in a different time amongst different people, uh, where we knew our neighbors and we lended a hand. Uh,
Yeah, I totally
where
get
community
that.
was more important.
that's definitely something that's changed. I think everywhere. Where like I know my neighbors across the street, and I've said hi to the other ones, but other than that, like people just I don't know
Kind of isolationist on their own, you know. I think
on
that's
their
the worst thing
property.
Again,
about
but
the.
again, that's social programming.
Well,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think people are just like more used to talking to people on, devices and everything else to where they don't know how to actually interact with the general public anymore.
Right, right.
I did interact with my old neighbor as far as cleaning dog shit off the side of my house that she would throw at it that she found in her yard. The sad part is I don't own a dog, so it's
That's
like,
crazy.
yeah, I had to set up a camera because she kept coming over into our yard, and then she would see the camera and like shine a flashlight at. I'm like that doesn't do anything. But yeah, all my other neighbors around me, like on that street, I got along with great. But yeah, she was. I think she was jealous because I killed my lawn, and then my girlfriend like helped me make it not dead, and it looked better than hers. And I think it was all out of jealousy. But yeah, Sarah was like, I think she's throwing dog poop in her yard. I'm like, what? That's not happening. And then one day I came out and there was 14 pieces just plastered to the side of my house.
Well, you get that sometimes, I guess. Everybody's
Yeah,
got that one crazy neighbor they had.
we had that. Don't have
I
that
know
problem
that's
over
right.
here. So, but
Yeah, I had
yeah,
a neighbor that used to call the animal control on me regularly. I had two boxers, very well trained, and they
just
had an
people scared
invisible
of bigger
fence.
dogs.
Yeah, they had an invisible fence, and he would call animal control like once a week and say, "My next door neighbor's pit bulls are just running wild in the neighborhood." And I'm like, "I don't own any pit bulls,"
Leave the
and
yard.
they have an electrical fence. Like they can't even leave the yard.
Technology. Yeah, there's some people that I don't know. Something rubs them the wrong way, or like that lady with us. She was weird. Like she'd be nice one day and very not nice the other. So I don't know. It'd be nice if people could talk more and get to know, people more. But people are very like Kevin said, isolationist in their homes. Like they don't seem to interact with people online, interact with people with work,
And then they
and
get
that's
into
about
like an
it.
echo chamber of what they believe is true, and people agree in what they believe. So
Right.
you're never looking at another perspective, which is one
Yeah,
of the reasons we wanted to have you on here. I
I
mean, we were
appreciate that.
happy. Yeah, we were happy to have you on here because, you know, both me and Jocelyn, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, having somebody that leans left, or even centrist or
Well,
liberal.
I don't lean left. I'm so far left that I don't even exist on the political spectrum. But when we talk about this left and right thing, right? We talk about this left and right thing. What are we actually saying?
I mean,
Like,
I
what
think
are
it's
we
just
actually
a
saying?
way of
But I
people
always
that
ask people that say I lean right. What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Well, we were more conservative. I believe in
What are
2A.
you conservative? What are you conservative?
I believe in smaller government, less social programs.
like constitutional
Common,
republic.
yeah, basically follow the Constitution. I
But we
think
don't do that. We
Oh,
don't
we
do any of
don't
those
at
things.
we
all.
don't.
The
No, I
Republican
feel
Party
like we
doesn't
should
even do
move
those
that
things.
way. I know. I don't call myself Republican. I'm just saying that's what the right was known for, was being like conservative, a
Well,
constitutionalist.
actually, but that's not his. But that is not historically accurate. Like, who was known for that historically, for the vast majority of this two party system, right? Were the Democrats. The Democrats were originally conservatives. They believed in small government. It was the party of Martin Van Buren. Martin Van Buren wanted smaller government. You know what I'm saying? Like limited government involvement, states' rights. I mean, like that's the whole reason the Civil War was fought. The Democrats believed in all of the things that our modern day Republicans say that they want.
Well,
Yeah,
and I think the
and I
entire country as a society has moved left. It's not like one side
or
or
I don't
another.
less
know.
Because modern
less constitutional is what I would say.
modern day Democrats 1000% do not believe in smaller government at all. So yeah, maybe back in the
Yeah,
day
but
they did.
would you call like wanting to take away women's rights to bodily autonomy, smaller government? Or would you say like dictating what parents or doctors are allowed to, you know what I'm saying, do in terms of like, uh, trans individuals or trans youth? Would you call that smaller government? I would say that's government interference. I would
Well,
say that
no,
that's the
when it
government getting
comes
involved.
to reproductive rights, the government removed itself because it's not under the
But did
purview of the
they?
federal government.
But
Like
okay,
people
so
are
you're
afraid,
constitutionalist though, right, Josh?
yeah, and it's not a constitutionally
It is.
protected whatever.
Have you
What
ever read the
amendment
14th
covers
Amendment?
Yeah, the 14th Amendment is, I mean, you could bend it to where it says, I mean, you would
Well,
have
no,
to
you're not even
bend it.
bending it. Equal protection under the law would mean that me as a man, right,
But
can't
then,
have any more or less rights to my bodily autonomy or medical privacy
but
or
then
access
you
to
also
medical
get
care.
into the fringe part of what does that fetus, does that have any kind of rights yet? At what
Mm-mm.
point does it have rights? At
When
what
it's able
point?
to sustain life on its own.
that would be
So
about
that's every
5
baby,
months.
what, up to a 5-year-old?
Well, no, because they
Because,
can
but if you
sustain
put a
life.
5-year-old, a
Well, when I
2-year-old by
say on their
itself,
own,
it
I mean
can't sustain
outside
on
of the
its own.
womb. Yeah, so anybody could take, you know what I'm saying, like
But people
care of
have,
said.
but
What
people
I'm
have
saying is anybody could take that child into their care, into their custody, and help them to sustain life. And without, you know what I'm saying, sans the birthing
but there has
person,
to be
right?
a
Like sans the
line.
person
So
who
what?
gave birth to them. Like
So what?
anybody could take that child, huh?
So third trimester then, or second, or because at some point a child can survive on its
Oh, me
own
personally,
outside the mother's womb. I'm just saying, like it has
yeah.
to be. There has to be, you because there's obviously early births, there's stuff like that where they can survive on their own without,
Hmm.
So you have to
Right.
figure out what point that is.
I mean, technically,
For
if it's
me,
not lined out in the Constitution, then it's not fall under the federal government's purview. There is no gray area or bending. That's why it goes
well,
to the states,
sure, exactly.
and
So,
then people can
but
vote
that's the
for that. That's
problem,
just
though.
like, but that's
But
why
they can't.
people are afraid that
Most of
Trump's
these
going to
states had
ban
trigger
abortion.
laws that didn't allow them to.
But Trump can't
He
ban
already did.
abortion. He
Yeah, but
can't.
every state
Do you
can.
guys know how many people have been
The
forced to
states,
carry a baby by somebody that raped them since this has been overturned?
no, I don't. And I know it's a low
Over
number compared to the
70,000.
hundreds of thousands of abortions done every year.
So a 12-year-old having to start school in Mississippi as a mother because her father raped her. We're
And
cool with that.
and we have never been cool with, like, we've always said that rape, incest, life of the mother, yeah, that
There should be
But
provisions.
there should be provisions for
yeah,
that.
but
But
these
Trump
states
didn't
that
do
had
that.
trigger laws, yeah, he
That's
did
the state.
because
The
so he
state
not only did
had
he
a
do it,
trigger law. The
sure, yeah, but
state.
not only did he do it, he bragged about doing it. He said, "I gave it back to the states."
Exactly.
If I told you that I gave, you know what I'm saying, as president of the United States, well, I gave slavery back to the states. That's fine.
That's an extreme example. That's
It's
No,
not
because
actually
there's an
because,
amendment
that's
saying you
that's
can't.
a constitutional amendment that he can't. That's the
but
difference.
but
You can
that's
write
not what the
it's
Constitution says.
there's
But
an
that's not what
amendment
the
saying that
Constitution says.
There's
It's not what
a
the Constitution says.
constitutional amendment that abolished slavery.
It doesn't codify slavery.
I don't think there's. Well, I'm not actually. There are slaves in the United States, but not in the
Yeah, it codifies slavery. It
same way
says
as we
that
used
no
to.
man, yeah, it says no person, right, can be forced into slavery unless they have been found guilty of a crime. So what happened? What was triggered
So, what do
by
they
the 13th
consider
Amendment?
slavery? Then, in that context, is it like going to jail, or what's the
Well,
context?
no,
Because
forcing people to work, you know what I'm saying, without proper compensation, which we
so
do
like
a substantial amount of.
prison farms and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we created the slave leasing program directly after the 13th Amendment. And
Well,
the
prisons for profit
recon
and stuff is a huge issue.
correct.
And shouldn't be
Yeah,
a
so
thing.
we did slave leasing programs directly after, the 13th Amendment, where and this made actual slavery worse because now the slave owners, the plantation owners, they didn't own the people anymore. So they could be even more harsh and more vile to them. And if they died, so what? You can just go back to the prison and say, hey,
But that's not going
the,
on
the
today.
last 10
So
you gave me
when did
died.
that change actually happen?
yeah,
Then?
here's the
'Cause
actual text. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place
Correct.
subject to their jurisdiction.
Correct. And
Congress
so
shall
they
have
started
power to.
creating laws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so they
like
started creating laws like vagrancy, like trespassing, you know what I'm saying, Jim Crow laws and black codes and things of that nature. So they could just arbitrarily prosecute, you know what I'm saying, black people with crimes at their purview and say, hey, now you got to go to this prison camp and be a slave again. And vagrancy is crazy because it's similar to what they are doing in the state of Florida right now. And Trump proposes, you know what I'm saying, as part of Agenda 47, making it illegal to be unhoused. So now you're like, well, hey, you're not like these slaves who now can't live on the plantation for free anymore. So it's either be a sharecropper or roam the streets, right? And so they're like, hey, listen, you're vagrant. You're just out in the streets. You don't have a job to go to. This is illegal. So we're just going to put you back on the plantation from which you came.
Well, I don't think we should have tons of homeless people around. Like a lot of those people are just allowing people to be homeless. Like you see the stuff in California where people are all drugged out laying around. That's not helping them. Now, do I
Yeah,
think they
but the
should be thrown in
problem,
jail? No. But
yeah.
people in a civilized society should not be able to just be that.
Are we
Now,
the
I
richest
know that
nation on the
there's
planet?
no, we're probably the most in debt nation on the planet.
That we actually are, in fact, the most, you know what I'm saying, resource rich
We don't tap them
nation
though.
on the planet.
If we
We
tapped
do.
them, we would have the money for all these social programs, but we
We
don't.
throw away 9 times the amount of food that people consume. We throw away a
Well,
hundred
and
times the amount of clothes
I
that people
have
wear.
seen where I don't know if it's laws or food code or something, but like at the end of a shift or like when I used to work fast food, like you write off
Mhm.
what you
Yeah, that was
didn't
created
use and you're
specifically
throwing
to
it out.
prevent. Yes, that was created specifically to prevent, you know what I'm saying, us from taking care of unhoused people.
Well, see, and I have a problem. I think that people that are homeless or because this is what I heard. I don't know how much true it is, but apparently there's a lot of homeless people that aren't drug addicts or like schizophrenics that
Yeah, but they
get off their
became drug
medicine and they
addicts
can't.
after being unhoused, not prior to. Like the
Yeah,
vast
and I
majority of
well,
get
the
that,
some
and
reason
I
people are unhoused.
some. I
yeah,
don't
No,
think
no, no.
but
So
I
I have a whole chart as a matter of fact, from um but I think my phone is still dead. But I have a whole chart. But the vast majority of people, I think it's like over 60% of people that are unhoused because of lack of, you know what I'm saying, being underemployed or unemployed. And it had nothing to do with drug and alcohol abuse makes up the smallest percentage. It's less than
well, and
10%.
we need to make a more job enriched environment, and we need to get people that are in this condition help. Not throw them in
But that,
prison and
yeah,
cold turkey them. I'm all about that. Like I'm all about instead of having someone set up on social programs for their entire life. Like there was a program in Missouri where the unemployment was so high, they were offering people to send them to asbestos worker class for free to get them licensed because there was a demand for it. But anything that helps someone get back up on their feet and taking care of themselves
or even
again,
like
I am
halfway
all about.
houses for it. Where they
but the average American citizen is only on social programs for 2 years.
Mm. See, I don't know. I don't know how you track that because it's the same thing with the unemployment numbers are fake because,
We track it through our Medicare, Medicaid, TANF. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like,
like then when they say, oh, the unemployment's down because people drop off the workforce, like they just stop counting them. Like we have a problem with that. I personally have a problem with any number on any side that comes out of the government because they're always skewed in some way. Inflation's not as bad as you think it is because they're not adding transportation costs and food costs and housing costs. The unemployment's not as bad as you think it is because after you reach a certain point of not looking for a job, they just don't count you. So the unemployment rate's much higher than what they make it sound it, they make it out to be.
that's not how we calculate unemployment, though.
That is 100% how they calculate it.
No, we calculate unemployment by how many
It's how many
eligible
people are
employed
seeking
people are.
work
Well, not
based on how many
necessarily.
people are working. That's where they get that number.
so if you're
And
not seeking work, you
once
just don't
you
get
stop
you just
seeking
don't
work for
counted.
so long, you drop off out of that algorithm. So it just it
It's a
ticks
way
me
to
off
skew
how
numbers to make it
everything
look better. And I'm not saying it's one party. I mean, it's both parties.
it's both
This
parties.
is the government that's doing this. This is why people
But
have
we
no
can't
trust
keep
in the
saying
government.
it like it's the government, like it's this
They're the
arbitrary
ones
group
It
that
of
put
is.
up the
individuals.
numbers.
They're
No,
the
I
ones
got
putting
you,
it.
but you understand when you say it's the government, it makes it seem like we don't know who's doing it. like it's not us electing these people and putting them into
I get
office
Well, it
I
is and
100%
it
do
agree with
isn't.
that.
these
A
Yeah.
permanent
nefarious things.
bureaucracy. Like there's a permanent bureaucracy that.
We don't have to keep voting for these people.
Well, no, we definitely do need to change, which obviously
Yeah.
we
I
will.
mean, that's
About
one
the
of the things
election,
that I
though.
said about this election the most. Like, if we look at, you know what I'm saying, just the raw data, right? Like, we just analyze the raw data. If we look at the mere facts, right, we can see that uh, Donald Trump started a trade war with China. That trade war cost us over 1,000 farmers, legacy farmers, people that have been in the farm, you know what I'm saying, in farming for generation after generation after generation, completely lost their farms.
A lot of
Those farms were
farmers
bought
are
out,
selling out to corporate farming.
and they had to. They had no choice. They sold out to mega farms because of this, because
Well, you
they
know,
could
we're the
not sustain
largest
farming anymore.
consumer of foreign goods, and we're like one of the lowest countries on exported goods. So like, we can't sustain like that. Not unless you figure out
Well,
free sustainable energy to where you can Americans can just be consumers, but we're
we
not anywhere near
export
there.
more oil than we import.
Not right now. We don't.
Yeah, we do.
We
Absolutely
were
do.
under Trump. We had not
No,
done
we
that.
absolutely do. We're a net exporter. We have been
Being
for the
energy
since Obama.
independent. When
Yeah,
we're
we've been
energy
energy.
independent,
We've
that
never
means
we've
you're
never actually
exporting
been
more than you're
energy
consuming.
independent. That's almost impossible because we don't have the refining
No,
capability.
energy independent just means that you're exporting more than you're importing.
Yeah,
That's
we've been doing that since Obama.
then why are the
Yeah.
gas prices so high?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. That's the
would
amazing
really
question.
like to know.
Well, we
Other
don't
than
have
the
refineries.
future
I'm gonna
We
tell you
don't
burning.
right
have
now.
refineries here.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. So when Donald Trump came into office, we had 141 oil refineries. We lost 16 of them. A few of those 16 that we lost were brokered by Jared Kushner, which is Donald Trump's son-in-law. He sold them to the Saudis, including our largest oil refinery in Port Arthur, Texas. We sold that to the Saudis. But in addition to that, in March of 2020, mostly because of COVID, oil prices tanked. I mean, it was like negative $40 a barrel. And so a man by the name of Harold Hamm and a few other oil barons came down to Mar-a-Lago and said, Trump, we're going to lose our ass. You need to go to OPEC, well, the Saudi prince specifically, and strike a deal. And so Trump is busy telling the United States citizens, hey, guys, this pandemic, it's not that big a deal. It'll be gone, in a few weeks. It'll be gone as soon as it warms up. It'll
That
be gone
wasn't
in a
just
couple of
Trump.
months.
That was
Sure,
everybody on the
sure.
TV.
But he was the face of it, right? And so he went to the Saudi prince, to Putin, to OPEC in general, and said, hey, we need to put a moratorium on oil production. We need to cut oil production by at least 10%. That was a 2-year deal. Why would you take something, right, that you say is going to only affect us for a few months and strike a 2-year deal to cut the global supply of oil or the global production of oil by 10%? Because when the countries open back up, what do you think is going to happen when you've cut the supply and now we have a unprecedented demand because people want to get the fuck out of their house and start driving now? What do you think is going to happen? So, I mean, we can
Why was it
directly
so low
attribute that
before COVID? This didn't just
fracking,
happen.
but that was, yeah. So hold
Well,
on.
see, now I do understand
Well,
that fracking is only feasible
mostly
if
for natural
is
gas, but
around. Well,
yeah,
not
but let me,
natural gas, but if the gas price isn't around $2, it's not cost effective to frack unless
sure,
they've
exactly.
improved
So
technology for doing it.
this is precisely what happened during Barack Obama's presidency. He finally greenlit fracking amongst all of the naysayers. He was like, okay, let's try it. And Barack Obama had a lower average gas price than Trump ever did. Barack Obama got down to 172. The lowest that Donald Trump ever got down to was 175. So Barack Obama had lower gas prices than Trump did.
So I paid like
coming
$1.90
into
for diesel at one point. That was super cheap.
yeah, so coming into Trump's presidency, he was already, you know what I'm saying, coasting on a increased surplus, you know what I'm saying, of gas, of petroleum products in general.
Am I wrong
So
in
he, if,
remembering though that gas prices were higher when he took office? Like they came down. So is it you saying it's a
they were
byproduct of
higher.
the stuff that because like all the oil
Do you know
is
what
based on
the
futures.
10-year average of gas prices are?
I don't know, 250.
276.
That was close.
Yeah, so gas prices really haven't even gotten that bad. If we're looking at
Well,
the 10-year
when it costs
average,
you $120, like it cost me
I've never paid attention in
$120.
my life. It's to be honest with you, except for when I was really like I'm in my 40s. So when I was in, you know what I'm saying, like my
I'm
late
in my
teens, early
40s.
20s, I think gas was like 97 cents a gallon.
I remember.
And
Yeah,
then
I
it
remember
Oh
as
mattered.
like
man,
under.
that
Yeah, I
was the
remember
Yeah.
day.
I could fill a car for like $10.
Yeah, exactly. Then it mattered. But
Yeah.
but since George W. Bush, that hasn't been the case. And so I just, gave up on any hopes and dreams that it would ever be the same.
You're not going to find any fans of George W. Bush on this channel.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, and so when I'm looking at how this played out,
It looks
um,
like what 2015, like through Obama's second or president, like from 2012 2016, his were around. I don't know. Let's see, kind of higher twos, 275, 250. It did drop down to about 170 something as last year.
mhm,
Then
yeah,
it kind of continued that way up until 2021. Then it was
yeah,
back up to 270. Then went to like three something.
yeah. And so I mean the thing is like when we want to pretend like what I'm saying, these decisions that our leaders make have immediate impact or don't have that great
They
of an
do as far
impact.
as future markets go, but as solid supply and demand, then no.
Yeah. So I mean, since and I'm not a Biden fan by any stretch of the imagination, so we're clear. But he went to OPEC and said, "Hey, listen, can we go back to pre 2020 when you guys made the moratorium, when you guys made the deal with Trump? Can we go back to the pre pandemic production amounts?" And the Saudi crown prince was like,
They call him
"No."
the pound sand.
Yeah, exactly. But you know why?
I don't.
Because they realized that the whole entire all of the nations were going to pay the price. They were going to pay for it, and they were making record profits, quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter. They were making record profits. So what was the point? Why would they do that? What incentive did they have
Yeah, they're not afraid.
to spend more money to to refine oil? You know what I'm saying? And make less of a profit. What
Well, I mean,
incentive did they have?
they weren't
None.
afraid. They weren't afraid he was going to do anything. I mean, they're not, that's the whole problem is they weren't, there's nothing we're going to do to the Saudis he was going to do to the Saudis to actually like,
Same as Trump.
well, I mean, it could be, or he could,
No, so I mean, Trump
we
let the
could
Saudis
see.
kill a U.S. reporter and did nothing. He let Russia invade the Donbass region of Ukraine in 2017 and did nothing. He let Russia bomb Ukrainian ships in the Azores and did nothing. Like none of these people are really going to, push the envelope. None of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, just,
They're just not.
yeah, that I agree with.
It's a threat of I mean, he ended the Iran nuclear deal, and then Iran immediately starts nuclear proliferation. He went over to to North Korea and told Kim Jong Un, you better stop, testing missiles and trying to enhance your nuclear program. And Kim Jong Un was like, whatever. 2 weeks later, missiles again.
Yeah, this I don't know. The article on Reuters says that he did it.
Yeah.
Says as the United States pressed Saudi Arabia to end its oil price war with Russia, President Donald Trump gave Saudi leaders an ultimatum.
Yeah, said he would remove any type of military aid.
Yeah, he
if they did
basically
not.
said he couldn't stop the lawmakers from withdrawal of U.S. troops from the kingdom. Four sources familiar with the matter told Reuters. The threat to upend a 75-year strategic alliance, which had been previously reported, was central to the U.S. pressure campaign that led to a landmark global deal to slash the oil supply as demand collapsed in the coronavirus pandemics, scoring diplomatic victory for the White House. See,
But we should have let the fucking oil companies fail the same way we should have
well,
let
we
the
can't.
banks fail under Obama. Yes, we
The,
can.
no,
We
the
can.
problem
We let them
with
fail. Hear
no,
me
but
out. hear me
No,
out.
I'm just saying the problem with allowing your oil industry to collapse in your own country now makes you more reliant on foreign
Nope,
energy. If our oil industry collapses in the United States, that makes us 100% reliant on foreign
no, it
energy.
wouldn't. We still have the oil, right? We
But
still
we
have the
have
means to
to
produce
pump
it.
it and refine it.
Yeah, and guess what we do?
So
The
have to
same
do
thing
a
Saudi
complete
does.
startup.
No, the same thing Saudi does.
What do they do?
Same thing the Saudi Arabians do.
Raise the price.
No, the people own the oil. They
Well,
live
they
on the
own it.
land.
They own it in Alaska. That's why you get paid to live in a frozen shithole.
And there you go. So think about
I'm
how
not
much better.
100% sure why that doesn't apply to every state though, because I don't get a check in Texas.
Yeah, but imagine if you did.
I know. I kind of wish I did.
Well, that's
Well,
what
if
I'm
it's on your
saying.
land, you do, but that's it. But then,
But no, but it is. But listen, and that's the point, right? What we should have done was is say, hey, listen, we're going to socialize this. We're going to, just continue to drill and refine the oil. Sorry, it's too bad, so sad that your guys' business plan didn't account for, you know what I'm saying, pandemics or any other tragedy, global tragedy. So now we're going to continue the process and make sure that everybody sees a benefit from it.
Yeah,
And then we can regulate our own prices of oil and our own prices of gas. But no, that's too much like common sense.
It's kind of like, oh, I like a little plug there. See what you did there.
Because that's what Saudi Arabia does. Everybody in Saudi Arabia, everybody in the United Arab Emirates, all of them get, you know what I'm saying, a portion
I think
of
in
the
order
proceeds.
to do that, though, you would have to nationalize all oil production in the United States.
Yeah.
See, that's more government, though. I'm not a.
So but if it works, it works, and it's not more government. This is the thing that bothers me the most, right? We
It is more
don't
government because you're
need,
giving up all your minimal rights to.
but you don't have to. What you do is you eliminate all of these bureaucrats, all of these elected officials, and you put the power back in the hands of the actual people, not one person, because that's what Trump wants, not one person, but the actual people. You say, hey, listen, I don't care if you're an average everyday citizen. If you have a proposed law, proposed piece of legislation, you put it forward and then let everybody collectively decide whether they think it's best for society or not.
Well, technically, they can do that now with the
But we can't
Republic.
because the vast majority of these politicians are paid by big pharma or big oil or, big tech or, or insurance companies.
I mean, based on what you're saying, it kind of makes me feel like you voted for Trump.
Nah.
Because
I would never vote for a fascist.
That's what he's doing.
He's not doing that.
He hasn't silenced any speech.
That has nothing to do with fascism. Fascism has anything to do with silence and speech.
Yes, it does. Fascism.
Palingenetic ultranationalism. I have a master's degree in sociology. I wrote my thesis on how fascism takes hold in this society.
That
Trump
still doesn't make an apple and orange.
Yeah, but Trump 1000% is a fascist. He hits all 14 tenets, and it's not even up for question or debate. Like he literally hits all 14 tenets.
By restricting the power of government, that makes him a fascist.
He's not just restricting the power of government. Like he created a bunch of scapegoats to fear people, to scare people into allowing him, you know what I'm saying, to have more centralized government. And more centralized government is not what we want. What do we want? He plans on getting rid of. He already proposed a executive order so that he can just remove generals from our military. That's a scary thought.
Not if they're bad generals. He can do
that's
that anyway.
Exact same thing.
He's the commander in chief. He doesn't.
Hitler did the exact same thing, though. That's the first thing that Hitler did.
So if you have
remove government officials and replace them with loyalists. First thing Hitler did.
So if you're running an administration, you don't want loyal people around you.
No, I want
any level.
No, I want a diverse. I want a diverse group of individuals who all have the will of the people in mind.
Well,
that are willing to represent the people. As a matter of fact, I would never want to be a leader. I think we should lead by, you know what I'm saying, committee. not by an
That
individual.
doesn't work because then the committee always becomes a leader, then it becomes a bureaucracy, and then it becomes them versus us. There's not one
There's
example in
always
history
one
where that
person that
works.
will always rise to the top, and it's usually the biggest dick.
And they're
Well, that's
always
not-
for the
that's-
people.
That's not true.
Where is it working?
Well, okay. So how long is this idea of, you know what I'm saying, like capitalism and or democracy in the government in the fashion that we, you know what I'm saying, like
A
currently exist in?
constitutional republic, we're the first.
Exactly, right? And so like before feudalism, right? We had tons of indigenous cultures who did not make a move unless all parties agreed. They did not, you know what I'm saying, engage in any type of you know,
How big
conflict.
were these cultures? I mean, see, you're talking about 350 million
Mhm.
to maybe a couple hundred or a couple thousand.
Same
That's a huge.
principle.
No, it's not, because
It is.
it is
It is.
not.
It is. It
You're
is.
talking
Because
about
think about it like
basically.
this. I'm gonna tell you why, right?
Isn't
If
that
I
basically
say-
what we have with the Senate and House then?
No,
If you just remove the president, then
No,
what are you talking
because
about?
those
Just
people-
mob rule?
because those people are being paid. Those people are being paid by lobbyists. So no, that's not what we have.
But-
We have people that are looking out for their own interests, not the interests of the people. Who better to look out for the interests of the people than the people themselves?
But that's mob rule.
But it's not though. Let me
I'm
explain
not
why.
saying the system's not broken and we don't have a bunch of
Oh, no, it's not broken at
crooked,
all.
Republicans and
No, it's not
Democrats.
broken.
And
It is not broken, sir.
based
It's
on
operating exactly in the manner that it was created to operate.
no,
Yes.
not today. Most
Yes,
people back in
absolutely.
the day when they went to Congress and they went back, they were either
The way it was
the
written
same
was
off
the states
or
were supposed to
broke.
rule, then the federal government was supposed to be.
But the states have already shown the propensity not to do the right thing.
That's because everyone in
Education.
government's lazy. Even Congress doesn't do anything. They make these departments and then they just put it on bureaucrats to run the country. That's why
And then
that's
those
why
departments are lobbied.
representatives don't run the country. Even the president, they do little things here and there. Congressmen come out, make a speech, they vote for these generic ass laws, and then the bureaucracy that is in Washington is the ones running the country. That's how
Should
our
all-
country's run
he-
now. And that's
he-
not
here,
the way it's
I'm gonna
supposed to be.
I'm going to make it simple. And I'm Afro-Indigenous, right? So indigenous culture, nobody eats unless everybody eats. That should be common sense.
Okay, then who's supplying the food for everyone to eat?
Well, if everybody knows that they're going to eat, right, they're more inclined to participate. Now,
You
if you're
think
telling
so,
people,
but they tried that
No.
in one of the original 13 colonies, and that colony almost starved to death.
what colony was this?
I'll have to look it up. I think it was Georgetown, but I'm not sure. Let's see.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, because the weak will prey on.
So
the
you're
people.
telling me, so it worked in indigenous cultures for, you know, millennia, for tens of thousands of years, but it can't work.
I'm pretty sure if people didn't do their part, they didn't eat.
Well, that's not true though, because which
Then
we
they
Well,
would've
if
consider
you're
entered
saying
the
like an indigenous culture, if somebody is willing, like able to work and just didn't, they would still eat.
yeah,
So if
absolutely.
they just never worked, they would just put up, like the people who work would just put up with that person just not working, just being a lazy POS.
Absolutely, because they you know, valued life over somebody's ability to do labor. Because guess what? That person who doesn't want to actually go out there and labor probably provides something else, whether it be art or some form of entertainment, or, you know what I'm saying, some sort of planning, you know, like helping, you know, to plan, or, you know, was, you know, the diplomatic person that you could send out to talk to other tribes. And so their need to build, you know, housing or go out and hunt or fish, or farm wasn't their goal. You should, you know what I'm saying, like lean on people's abilities and not what you want them to do.
Yeah, I get you can do this in a smaller area, like a smaller.
You can do that in
I mean,
general.
You
do that in
cannot do
general.
this with 350 million people, because there
You
will be
absolutely
weak
could.
people. There's people who will prey on the people to do stuff for them,
And
not
those are the
contribute
people that
anything.
and those are the people that you oust out of society.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so get rid of them.
Then what happens to them? I mean, that's why communism,
happens to them? You
everything
can't just
looks
oust them out of the
great on
country.
paper. It never works in real life because humans and the human condition.
But it did work in real life.
Never work.
It did work in
Where is
real
it
life.
still prospering?
Well, I mean, we've never really had any real communist governments
That's what
at
they
all.
always say. Like wasn't real communism.
It wasn't. They were socialists. They were
USSR
Marxist
wasn't-
Leninists. They were Marxist Leninists at best. But you know what's crazy about that? That you mentioned Russia. They
What about
industrialized
China?
at a rate They industrialize at a rate 300 times any other country. Not only that, had it not been for the USSR, we wouldn't have internet, we wouldn't have cell phones. Like,
Al Gore invented the internet.
Al Gore did not invent
just-
the internet.
That's
He did, however, urge, you know what I'm saying, government to release it to the American people. And the internet was created by socialist means, even here in the United States. The means of distribution of the internet specifically was socialist. Our tax dollars went to pay for this infrastructure to be created. And now, something that we already paid for, we're paying corporations to you know what I'm saying, serve to us. Something we paid to be created.
Yeah. It's everything.
Well, not everything can be free, but here's the thing. The USSR grew as fast as it did because of all the countries that were involved in it. It couldn't have done it. That's why
like
Russia
China right now, like China built fake cities. Like there's no one living in these cities. They just did it to build up their economy. It's about to collapse because they did their one child law thing.
and
Where they don't have the
well,
people
nah,
actually-
they have too much political power and access to resources on too many other continents for them to collapse.
No, they
Africa,
will.
the United States, South America, Central America.
The problem is they have an aging population and a huge
decline.
Decline. So you're going to have way more people living off the government.
I mean, they still have over 1 billion people, so it's not like they need.
They're about 2 generations for a population collapse. And it's because they made that one child rule. Like it's become cultural. So now they're like, I don't know how you force people to have 3 kids, but they're like trying to force people to have more kids because they've seen the writing on the wall.
I mean, they probably have more kids in China. You know, men treated women better, but women in China don't even want to have children with the men.
Because, I will agree with you. If like communism actually as something that was pure would work, but it will never do that.
You know, Elon Musk literally just did an interview the other day and was advocating for like, well, he didn't even do it. Yeah, but I guess you call it an interview, but a podcast the other day where he was advocating for UBI, a universal basic income, and said that there's so much stuff is going to be automated in the next 20 years that most people won't have a job anyway. So what do we do then?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, the only way it's like the whole one of my favorite shows and what do you call it?
Star Trek.
Star Trek. That is socialism. But the only reason that would work is because they figured out basically free endless energy, and you can like order up your meal on a food synthesizer. We're not there. That's why
we're not. Work. But we can do free endless energy if we utilize the sun and water and wind and nuclear.
We're going to do it. Well, I don't know because there is a patent for like I think average solar panels like 23% efficient, and whatever the average total is, some guy designed a solar panel
around there
that made it 1% more efficient, and the U.S. government tabled it under national security, and that's why we don't have more efficient solar panels. But like
we could have been running cars on hydrogen for 50
on water, for everybody that's made a water car that can run on water has ended up dead or suicide.
But instead we keep forcing, you know what I'm saying, ourselves to be dependent on petroleum.
I'm all about it. If we can find because electric cars, that's a joke. That's not
sustainable
mining the earth.
Energy.
But hydrogen is sustainable. I mean, we can do that. No, you could literally use water and water.
You have to distill all the water though. You can't just fill up your car with a garden hose.
Well, that's not that hard.
Especially here in the Panhandle, you get calcium buildup all over your plates, your ionizing plates. But yeah, it's you'd have to have you could filter. That's what they run on.
You could build a filter.
You can get a Brita filter.
Yeah, you can filter it.
You have to get all the minerals. I think they have to run off distilled water, but
but
stuff like that. But electric cars right now with their battery technology and how they have to strip mine the earth, that is a joke.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Even Toyota's they make a couple electric cars, but they have some graph that they figured out. That's why they stick with hybrids. So they got the battery, but as far as carbon footprint, cost efficiency, ownership and all that stuff. They say hybrid's the way to go until they come up with something different. Now, if, what was that? We did an episode a while back on Dr. Greer and how we're 100 years behind on technology because of crony capitalism and greed. But that all his stuff's based on that 0 point energy theory where you
Right. But how do we
tap
keep
into
running
some
into
underlying
said crony
energy.
capitalism and greed? I mean, let's look at the timeline, right? We
Well,
had
you can
10 years.
blame special interests in Washington for that.
Sure. But we had 10 years, you know what I'm saying, of recession and inflationary spending under Reagan and Bush Sr. Then we had Clinton, and I'm not giving him all the credit for it. It was more of the tech boom, the dot-com era, and so on and so forth. But he left with a surplus. And then we had W come in, more cuts for the wealthy, tax cuts for the wealthy, and not for the poor and middle class.
I
And then
remember getting my
inflationary spending.
$1,200, which I thought was dumb. But
And then
it's okay.
inflationary spending.
They
Yeah.
should have
And
held that
then
surplus.
we have Obama coming in and literally pulling us out of one of the worst, recessions since the Great Depression. And then we have Trump come in and his, trade wars, his OPEC deal, his deregulation of the housing market and HUD specifically allowing corporations to buy up housing. Deregulation has always led to recession every single time. Every single time.
Then it must
Somebody
be,
has to put backstops on corporations. We have to.
I mean,
We can't
to
let
an extent,
corporations
there is
operate
so
as
much. We
people.
work in a regulatory thing.
Field, yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it almost, then everyone bitches, well, why is this so expensive? Why is this so expensive? Because of regulation. So it's like there's
No, because if that was the case, then these companies wouldn't be making record profits.
no, like in these types of environments that we're in right now, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. They prey on recessions.
The largest transfer of wealth in human history
Didn't
happened
it happen
under
under
Donald
9/11?
Trump.
I thought it happened
Happened under Donald Trump.
with
2019,
George W. Bush.
2020. 2019,
That's
2020.
COVID.
Huh? So why did rich people get super rich during COVID?
Because they took advantage of the situation and nobody else was working.
Yeah, so what happened was because of the housing market deregulation, these corporations were buying up houses at above market price with cash and then selling them to foreign nationals.
Yeah, and they also jacked up the housing market.
So the housing market went up, property taxes went up, rental prices went up.
Fucking property tax, man.
Yeah, and Trump allowed all of that to happen. None of this would have happened without his deregulation of HUD.
I don't know. I think less red tape is better. I'm not a pure libertarian.
But it hurts the poor and middle class. And I care more about, because this is what I know to be true. This is what I know to be true, right? If the people who need the most help within a society, right, have all of their accommodations met, then I'm going to be doing better by the very virtue that a rising tide lifts all ships. If the people beneath me, whether they're handicapped or more marginalized than me, or, you know what I'm saying, impoverished or less educated, if they are taken care of, if all of their needs are met, then I know mine are going to be met because we're helping the least of these. So I know my needs are going to be met.
Like helping get more people in there, but I know for a fact that I had more money and I was more financially better off in the 4 years
Thank you,
than I
Obama.
have been with Biden.
Thank you, Obama.
But then none of this is Biden's fault. Like what happened? You can't blame it on one guy who had 4 years.
But you can
out of 12 years.
Yeah,
or
but
16 years.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I know, but you're ignoring the 8 years of Bush prior to that.
I'm not ignoring the last. Democrats have been in power the last 12 of the 16 years.
Yeah, and that's ignoring what Obama had to do to dig us out of the Great Recession. And that rhetoric, you know what I'm saying, it stands logic.
Spend a ton of money
it stands
to do that.
logic.
You had to. Inflationary spending.
You had to, but he still left. You know what I'm saying, with you know what I'm saying, the economy moving in a positive direction. People were, you know what I'm saying, buying houses again. People could afford, you know what I'm saying, groceries. People could afford their rent. People were going to college at unprecedented levels. People were creating new businesses at unprecedented levels.
Because of Clinton.
The collapse 2008's on Clinton. That's not on Bush.
No, not necessarily.
It happened under Bush. That happened when they signed in that housing thing that allowed people to buy houses they couldn't afford. and they had all these balloon payments, and they had a bunch of people foreclose on their
So
house.
you go for the
That
first
caused
10
the
years,
housing
low
boom.
interest
Well,
rate.
yeah. Okay, hold on. So
And
hold
that's
on.
when
So
it hit.
that's twofold. Hold on. So that's two pronged, right? That's two pronged. You have to also look uh, at the fact that W cut taxes for the ultra wealthy, right? And then increased our spending, you know what I'm saying, by a boatload to going into the two wars, Iraq and Afghanistan. If you decrease our income but increase our spending, that's inflationary spending. And when that happens, the Fed raises the interest rates. So if you couple
No, but
the
the interest
interest
rates
rate
were
skyrocketing, hold on, if you couple the interest rate skyrocketing because a lot of those loans came they had the 3-1 arms, the 5-1 arms, and stuff like that. So when their loans came, you know what I'm saying, to reset in terms of the interest rate, now the interest rates were through the roof
they didn't
because of inflationary
no, they
spending.
didn't. It was told when they got the loan that it would be a
Yes,
3% loan. Then it would balloon up to 9%,
but it
10%
wouldn't
after
have
10
if the
years.
interest rates. No,
No,
it wouldn't have if the
that
interest
was
rates would
how
have
the
stayed
loan
low.
agreement is.
That's
That was
what
No,
I mean.
no, sir. I was literally a mortgage. I was part of a mortgage firm for the
Well,
vast
I
majority of
hope
my
you
adult
didn't
career.
talk people into getting a
No,
variable rate mortgage because that's
no.
horrible.
So what? Here's what the variable rate mortgage looked like. It could be a lower interest rate
Could
if the
be,
interest rates go
but it
lower,
never
or
and
it
it
could
could be a
bankrupt you.
higher interest rate if the interest rates were higher. So if we had not engaged right in corporate tax cuts and then tax cuts for the ultra wealthy, and we not engaged in inflationary spending, the interest rates could have potentially been the same or lower.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's why you
Could
always
have.
go the fixed rate.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Because at least then you know, well, kind of, except for property
Well,
taxes.
thank
The one
God for
thing
me,
that
'cause
really,
that's what I did, and I'm at like
really
2
grinds
something
my
now.
gears is how you can buy a house and then they see everyone was up in arms about Biden or Kamala, somebody talking about taxing unrealized gains. They literally already do that with property tax.
They sure
Because
do.
when they come around
And
and
that was only
reassess
for
your
people that
house,
made over $100 million or worth over $100 million, which is none of us.
but
No.
I'm just saying they literally already do that.
Yeah.
Like when they reappraise your house and now you're paying property tax, like they
'Cause
literally
your house could
raised
be worth this
the
if you sold it.
appraised value of my house by $60,000 a year after I bought it. I'm like, I just bought this house. I set the
Mhm.
market value. And now I got to
Yep.
pay. If I could afford a $60,000 more house, I would have bought one.
Right. But here's the problem though. When you deregulate HUD and you allow, say, like Josh, say a corporation came into your neighborhood and only bought 5 houses,
Yeah.
right? They only bought 5 houses out of the thousands of houses in your community. I don't know what community you live in, but in my community, I think there's like 1,800 houses. A corporation came in and only bought 5. What happens to the next 5 people that buy houses?
Well, they could be buying it at whatever that value is. The market
Exactly,
value set by that.
because this corporation came into my neighborhood and bought homes cash well over market value. And
Well,
so
and our problem
now,
was here is our housing market
Mhm,
got hot because there was a ton of people that actually moved here. These aren't corporate companies buying up houses. We had a mass amount of people, and I don't know why, because it's on the panhandle of Texas, which
I don't know. why either.
isn't
I've been
isn't
there.
Florida. Let's just put it that way.
right.
But that's
It's
why,
basically
like,
the Midwest in Texas.
but they were moving here, so then the city took advantage of it and then went around and reappraised everybody else. Because I have a big problem with their local city government doing that, or county, I guess, is the one who appraises your
Mhm.
value. It's like, oh, it's a hot market.
Yeah,
I'm going to
county
go
tax
around and
assessor.
reappraise everybody's houses. I'm like, are you going to reappraise it when the market cools down? Oh,
Nope, it never
'cause
goes down.
my city's
Never.
actually gotten in trouble by the state
Mhm.
twice for property tax stuff. But I mean, I get why you pay property tax. Like it helps pay for your police, your fire, roads, all that
Schools.
stuff, even though that's still tax in schools. So I get that. But it's like, okay, well, then I'll pay my property tax based on what I bought my house for.
Right.
Period. Because it doesn't matter what they say my house isn't worth that till I sell it. So that I think every state in the union needs to adopt that. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah,
Then you
I
can
don't
vote.
think
Like you can
I
vote
think
on if you want to raise it due to social, like fire, police, school, stuff like that. Like there's always like school referendums where it's a 2% tax increase for school to go to schools like
I
on
don't
the way
believe
up.
I don't believe people should be paying personal property taxes on their home at all.
I totally 1000% agree with that.
I think that if we taxed the ultra wealthy and corporations at a rate, You know what I'm saying? That
I mean, I don't agree
that
with
is
that.
I think we should go to a flat tax.
why are we caping for billionaires? I don't
Here's the
understand
thing.
that.
But why do we have to go against? I mean, I get it. They're billionaires. They have money, but they made
Do you
that
know how
money.
we got out of the Great Depression?
Yeah, we went to war.
Well, I mean,
Technically,
that was part of it.
World
But I
War
mean,
II helped drag us out of it.
we were taxing billionaires at nearly 90
Well, not billionaires
percent.
then, because there wasn't nearly as many
Well,
billionaires.
millionaires. We were
Yeah.
taxing millionaires at nearly 90%. So anything they made over X amount of money was a 90% tax. We should do the same thing. I mean, even what's the guy's name? Warren Buffett. Even Warren Buffett said at the top 500. If you took just the top five Fortune 500
I mean,
companies,
they're paying 29% right now. That's what they're paying.
Top earner
But-
for his top.
but they're paying
the
more than
top
us.
tax bracket.
Yeah, they're paying
for a
more than us. They're
single
paying
I mean,
29%.
they're paying more in dollar amount, but we're paying more percentage wise than they are.
No, the top. They're
That's only
paying
if you're
50%
taxing
of the
capital
taxes.
gains.
What's
Like,
that?
The wealthiest.
That's only okay. If you make over, I think it's $400,000 a year, something like that. I think that's the top tax bracket. If you make over $400,000 a year, or whatever the top tax bracket is, it's 37% for an individual. That's as high as it goes. So if you win the lottery and you take the annuity or whatever, you're going to pay 37% on that every year. That's the top bracket. The
But in
only way
that
you pay
tax
less
bracket,
than
you have
that,
itemized deductions.
the only,
yeah.
that's one thing I lost under Trump is mileage
Exactly.
write-off. I was very upset
That's
with the
my
mileage
point.
write-off.
So this is
But
what I'm saying. The average
you
American
do have
citizen,
itemized deductions because that's why like accountants will call their people and say, hey, you need to spend some money or you're going to
right?
be taxed,
So
this or
the
that.
average American citizen that made $75,000 or less under Trump's tax plan, which we're still currently under, the last 2 years, 3 years now since 2021, have owed taxes at the end of the year when they used to get back thousands of dollars.
I get back.
Yeah, but in order
I
to
didn't.
get like that tax write-off, they're investing their money. So you can't just like, hey, well, I mean, you could, you probably get audited. It'd be like, I bought this company Lamborghini. Now I know someone probably do with yachts.
I'm sure
and
people
stuff.
have. I mean,
Yeah,
But like
absolutely.
There's always ways
generally,
to hide.
you get the tax write-offs for reinvestment in your country. Like everyone says, like, oh, Walmart makes say $7 billion a year in profit. That's a ton of
Then
money.
pay
This is
$0
why I
in
believe
taxes.
Everybody
you should
should
go to a
make-
flat tax.
Everybody should make
That's what I
this
believe.
amount of money. Well, if you gave all their employees like a $2 raise,
But
that
they didn't.
$5 billion goes into the red.
This is where a flat tax works because you tax on the goods. You don't tax the person. So no matter what the good is, so if you buy a yacht, you're going to get taxed a certain amount on that yacht. It's a tax all the way through. No matter
I like a
if you're
federal
just buying
sales
rice.
tax.
Yeah, I mean it's basically a sales tax, but it's just a flat tax, to the government. To where so the government taxes everything. Let's say 10% off just right off the top. So bread 10% higher, whatever. A yacht 10% higher. So if you're a wealthy person, you buy a $10 million mansion. I mean, there's 10% off that.
I like
Instead of
federal
trying to
sales
tax a
tax
person,
because
they can
then it doesn't
itemize out of
matter.
it.
Everyone's paying
It's a
taxes.
flat tax that will just take the money from what people need. It doesn't tax more than what somebody needs. Doesn't tax less. It's just a flat tax. So that's how I feel like it should go. I mean, I might be wrong, but I feel like it's the fairest way, the fairest system. Because people will itemize their way out of paying taxes. It's part of why you pay lawyers and you pay accountants.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily against that. I really would have to do like some analyzation, like to crunch the numbers, but I wouldn't say that, you know what I'm saying, like just off of hearing it for the first time that I would, reject it.
It just seems like the fairest way. You pay on goods. So whatever, you just pay on goods and services and it's 10% higher because you got to pay the government, whatever, 10%.
Yeah. So federal sales tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
'Cause then it
necessarily against
Well,
that.
then it wouldn't matter if doesn't matter how you make your money. I mean, technically people that, make their living from selling drugs or doing nefarious things, still buying stuff.
So they're still paying taxes.
They're not filling out a W-2. If you're buying stuff,
if you have immigration, it wouldn't matter because they would be paying for goods and services too.
Well,
So
I
they're
mean,
paying
the
taxes.
like undocumented immigrants added $92 billion to, like our coffers last year alone. So
But we also spent billions of dollars.
not
yeah,
92.
but how much did they add? How much of that money was
Not 92. They're net positive.
I think New York spent.
I don't know. The
10
number's all over the place. It's everywhere from like a couple $100 million to like $3 billion of what it
Like,
costs.
no one's
Yeah, but
really
it's not 92. They paid
But, like-
$92 billion into social programs
Yeah,
that
but how
they'll
much of
never
that
be able to
money
get
is
money
just
out of.
government money
That they'll
coming
never
back?
be able to get money out of.
How is that? How much of that is government money that's just coming back? Like all that money that
What do you
they
mean?
gave, like say like those food cards that they gave out in New York,
Mhm.
that's all money getting pumped into the economy. That's inflationary
Yeah.
spending because that's unearned
Well,
money
no.
getting pumped into the economy. Any money that comes from the government that wasn't
Mhm.
earned and that is spent in the economy is inflationary. That's
Yeah.
because
No,
it
no,
creates.
that's boosting the economy. When
No,
we're
you're-
talking
it's
about
just-
It's
inflationary,
artificially boosting the economy
But
because
it's
the
not
money
really
wasn't
boosting because-
generated in
Got
the
you.
economy.
guys, but when we're talking about inflation, right? When we're talking about inflation, we have to, you know what I'm saying, like look at what actual inflation means. Inflation literally means that we're spending more money, right, than the money is worth. And that's not the case because our money is not backed by a commodity. It's not backed by a commodity. So the only time we can talk about
No,
inflationary spending
our
in these
currency is based on our economy, our GDP. The dumbest thing we ever did was take it off the gold standard.
yeah, our ability,
Yeah, we should
our
have kept
ability to
rivaling.
produce and our ability to protect our assets.
But inflation
And we have the world's
happens
strongest
when
military.
demand surpasses supply. So when you pump in
Yeah, and we don't
a
have
bunch
that
of
problem.
free money that wasn't earned, that raises demand. So when, it's just the same thing like when people were like with
Well, not because
housing
we
stuff and all
artificially
that.
no, we artificially create scarcity
I mean, some
with
probably do,
food,
yeah.
I'm
with
sure some,
merchandise,
but
yeah,
some-
with all of that.
There was an artificial scarcity on running lawnmowers. I know that when I was looking for them. I don't know what the hell was going on with that during COVID. It's like everybody
Well-
took their stimulus money and bought a riding lawnmower.
Well, I mean, John
There was
Deere
literally a
left the
shortage
country.
on riding lawnmowers.
People had a lot of free time and didn't want to pay
Yeah,
lawn
wanted-
people anymore.
Want to drive
Like, you
around
know
with
what? I want to
Walmarts.
mow my lawn and I'm tired of walking. I'm going to
Yeah, I
take
want
the
to be
stimulus
inside. I'm
money
gonna
and buy
drive.
a
I'm gonna mow my
lawnmower.
lawn again for the second day in a row.
Right.
But that's what happens. Like it's a when you're pumping
What do they
money
say
in,
about
we need
idle
less,
hands?
we need
Yeah,
we need
Devil's
less
Playground.
government money fueling the economy. We need more like jobs, income, everything being generated within the economy and less stimulus from the
Why
government.
is it? But can I ask you a question? Have you guys ever thought to yourself or just like stopped for a minute and said, is this really my purpose in life to work until I'm, because the new Republican,
every
the new
day.
GOP, the new GOP plan is to cut Social Security by at least $1.5 trillion to slash Medicare and Medicaid in half.
Well, there
And
is no
so-
Social Security.
should be privatized anyways.
No, it shouldn't.
Yes,
It's a
There is no
self-paid
Social
system.
Security. It's just a thing that they cut checks out of the big coffer. Social Security's been bankrupt for years.
But it's not. It's a self-paid system.
It's
It
not a
comes
No,
self-
because
directly
they
out.
borrow against
It
it.
is.
They borrow
And-
against it. They
Who
don't pay it
borrows
back.
against it?
The government
Yeah,
does.
the
Both,
dem-
and both
government-
Who
parties have.
specifically?
Both parties
Continuously
have.
borrow
Both
against it.
parties absolutely have. They've been doing it since the 1990s. I
And
believe.
if they didn't do that, then it would be solvent.
Well, it won't be because our birth rates are down. So now we're going to get more drawers. And then they pay Social Security for like, it's not even just a retirement plan anymore. Like my mom passed away when I was younger. So we got Social Security benefits for that.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
all
got
I
them
was
until I
gonna
was 19.
That's
Well,
all I
I
was gonna
guarantee you the amount of money that I got or that our family got for that, she didn't pay that much into it. So there's no way it'll be solvent. They pay out way more than they get in.
say. No, actually, no. I've actually ran the numbers on it. We don't pay out more than we get in. We just
Well, you-
borrow more against
Yeah, we
it.
borrow
Well,
against
no,
it.
they
because-
do. I'm
because
just talking about
what you
Well,
don't
it's not
realize
borrow where you don't
is
pay back into it.
every worker in America pays into Social Security. Every single one, right? Even if you're undocumented. And we've had
Unless you paid under the
undocumented
table.
people working unless you get paid under the table. But we've had undocumented people working on ITINs, you know what I'm saying, and taxpayer identification numbers for eons. So these people have been paying billions of dollars into the systems and never taking out. So it really kind of offset the people, you know what I'm saying, who didn't work their whole lives.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't because it's offset if they're completely self-sustained and not on any type of program, then yes.
Yeah. But
But
what I
Social
was going to
Security
say
has
was,
gotten spread out to way more than what it was supposed to be.
sure.
It was
But what
supposed
I
to
was
be
going
a
to say
social
was,
safety net.
is why should we have to work until we're 69 years old? And then maybe, just maybe if we're lucky, we'll have
I thought it was
3 to
72.
5 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be 72 by the time we get there.
Yeah, by 70.
Well, yeah, they said, well, 69 is the new proposed number. It was 67. Now they're saying
So
69.
say by the time in the next, I'm also in my 40s. By the time it's, we get to our 60s, it'll be 72 years old.
Yeah, why should we have to
The
work
life
until we're 72 years
expectancy
old?
of Americans is like around 80.
Yeah, why should we have to work? Well, unless you retire. The average person dies within 5 years of retiring.
Yeah.
It's because they're not doing anything. Gotta
Why-
stay
but
active,
hold on.
do stuff.
This beautiful globe that we live on, we should spend our whole entire lives
But Social
laboring.
Security doesn't pay that much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We should spend our whole entire lives laboring.
Yeah.
So
That's
your
the
idea
only reason we're
is-
meant to be alive is to labor.
Well, I mean, technically, if you just go on basic biology, we're supposed to live, multiply, raise our young, and die. Just on basic biology.
Right.
Well,
But
that's the grimmest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm just
Right.
saying.
But like, I don't think that all of these world wonders exist. All of these mountains and waterfalls and oceans and beaches, you know what I'm saying? And forests and jungles and all of this stuff exists just for us to never see it.
Well, yeah, but now you're talking about contributing into the pot for a shorter amount of time and drawing off it for a longer amount of time.
But here's
Plus
the
all
thing,
the
though.
extra stuff that they put on Social Security. Like,
Well, no, that's
for
not what
one
I'm saying.
thing, rich people aren't going to make less money. That's not going to happen
Why should there be
So-
rich people and then super poor people?
because the people that put in the work. I mean, I don't have
Most
a
of those
problem
rich
with
people didn't put in the work. None of them put in the work.
no,
None of
there
them
are
did.
a lot that like.
None.
Creative
Zero.
Even like-
Can't name one.
I mean,
Nope.
I mean, look at Rachel
Nope.
Maddow. I mean, Mark Cuban.
What about Mark Cuban?
He's a billionaire because he got lucky and sold a .com company.
Yeah, he got lucky. He didn't put in any hard work.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
I'm-
it takes
I'm not-
something to create something. I mean,
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
that.
he
but I'm
didn't
just
create it.
saying, they act
Yeah.
like he's a super dude. I don't like that.
Elon Musk has never created anything.
He created
Jeff
PayPal.
Bezos? Huh? No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
No, he
He's
didn't.
one of the founders of PayPal.
No, sir.
But then he got pushed out.
No, sir. Did not
And then
create
he-
PayPal.
Now
Nothing to do with it.
he didn't found Tesla. I know
No,
that.
He didn't
Or
create
he's a
PayPal nor
major-
Tesla.
He's a major investor in Tesla.
did he?
Yeah, he never created anything, bro.
What about
Not
SpaceX?
PayPal, not anything else.
He didn't start SpaceX.
I think he started SpaceX.
Yeah, but I mean, all of the technology that he uses is stolen intellectual property.
From who?
Brilliant people.
Well, I mean, that's
Well,
just
how are they
an
the only ones that have it then?
accusation.
Yeah, like this is all stuff you can look up. Like Elon Musk has never created a single thing in his life. He got his money from his parents who owned gem mines, who literally enslaved South Africans to make their riches.
I mean, he made 12 kids.
Yeah, but that
He
doesn't
did do that.
but that doesn't make you a genius. I got
Well,
There's a lot of people made 12 kids.
I have a lot of kids. That doesn't make me a genius. As a matter of fact, I think that would make me less of an intelligent human being. We're really going to keep it real.
I don't know
But
about the
Jeff
whole extra
Bezos
habits, but
was
I see
given
that
$250,000 by his parents to start his little garage book sale, and the house.
That is what
And then
Amazon
he stole a lot of
started out
people's
at.
intellectual
Yeah.
property. If you create a product and put it on Amazon, and Bezos realized that product was doing well, he would have a foreign company make it in bulk for much less, and then make it the Amazon recommended product,
Oh, yeah.
essentially pushing you completely out of
Yep.
the market.
Well, yeah.
Yep, Amazon absolutely does that.
Like none of these
I
super
forgot that
wealthy people
Amazon
created
started out
anything.
as an
Yeah, in the
online
garage, as a
bookstore.
book. It was a book company.
I
Yeah,
forgot that.
Yeah, that's how it started. It was just sold books.
Yeah,
was selling books out of his
99% of
garage.
all the stuff sold on Amazon is just cheap shit from China.
stolen intellectual property in most cases.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
It made
it's-
cheap elsewhere.
And Bezos has a team of lawyers that'll fight you.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
you
why they
might as
say-
well
Well,
not even try to sue them.
He'll bury you in litigation and costs if you want to.
There you
well,
go.
that's how it takes money to make money, and that's how people get rich when other people are getting poor and recessions and stuff like that. Because like
And that's what I'm
happens.
saying.
In a
There shouldn't be
recession-
ultra wealthy and then poor people. There shouldn't be a
it's-
person that has a 12-bedroom
It's
house.
not-
And
but
the
there
person sleeping on
are
a bed.
wealthy people. Now, granted, we pointed out examples of like .comers and stuff like that.
I know wealthy people who have done construction companies, came off of construction, started their own company. You know,
Like there are people that build their own wealth, and if you put in the work, you make the sacrifice, and it's successful, then you deserve it. Like I have my own totally awesome barbecue sauce. And if that ever takes off and I get rich off it, then
It's something he
super cool.
created.
Yeah, but
I
it's
just
not.
want to be. I just want to
But
get
it's
big
going to
enough to be
require.
annoying and get bought out.
Yeah, but Josh, it's going to require you to do what in order to make that possible?
Well, I actually need to get an investment of money because you need money to make money.
Sure, but you're going to have to hire individuals, right?
Yep.
That are going to have to sell you their labor, and you're going to have to keep labor costs at a minimum in order to make the profits that you want to. And then especially if you go public, then you're going to have a board, and it's incumbent upon you. Otherwise, your board can sue you, right, to make as much profit as possible. So your board is going to constantly be telling you to cut people. So you're going to have people working their ass off, dedicating the entirety of their lives to the success of you being a millionaire and them still being broke.
I feel like you're accusing
here's
me
the thing I see with the
of
problem
being
with what you're saying
I'm going to
here,
be a
though,
corporate asshole, and I don't
is
appreciate it.
if you have to do everything like let's just say it's equal all the way across, right? Where
Mhm.
does innovation happen? Because
It
why
won't.
innovate
Innovation is
something-
bred out of necessity,
Exactly. So once
Yes,
everybody's
out of
necessities
necessity.
are
once
met,
Not
your
out of
necessities
capitalism.
are met, then what's the point? What point? Where does technology go from there?
People-
There's always
look
going to be a
at
new
need
problem to solve. There's always
or
going to be a new
create a
problem to solve.
need.
We solved all types of problems before there was capitalism. Like we
Look,
needed fire to cook food, so we solved
on
that
this
problem.
show,
We needed a
we're-
wheel to move things, so we created a wheel, and none of that took capitalism.
It's been around. I mean, people could say what they want about capitalism. The reason why we have the wealth in this country and the reason why we prospered as fast as we did
Because we
is
enslaved people.
largely because of capitalism.
Because we
There were
enslaved
slaves
people, yeah.
all over the world before. There were slaves way before.
That doesn't
the
make it
United States.
okay.
I'm not saying it does make it okay, but that's not. If that was true, then we wouldn't have been in the exception.
It is true. It is true. Listen, the 13th Amendment created a new problem for plantation owners. The plantation owners are what we'll call the corporations today, right? It created a new problem for them. They could no longer get people to build their wealth for free. Now they had to find people who are willing to do it for
Well,
them.
they went back.
Their intentions all along were to pay them as little as possible and offer them as little in terms of, incentives to make them wealthy.
Yeah, well, you
It's
say
slavery.
that like the end of slavery is when the industrial boom happened. It's when because there had to be innovation to happen to, let's be real, to market the
During the
cost or
industrial
cheapen the
boom-
cost of
Sure.
what slavery was.
The assembly line
Yes.
line created by a black man who was given George W. Carver,
Yep.
who was given no credit for it whatsoever, wasn't paid to do it, you know what I'm saying, or anything of that nature, which was what modernized, you know what I'm saying, an industry in America. The light bulb, the filament for a light bulb created by a black man, the on-off switch to lights, home alarm systems, you know what I'm saying, the cellular network, like all of these things created by marginalized communities who never got credit for it and never became rich off of it. Blood transfusions, the open heart transplant. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. When you talk about innovation, you know what I'm saying, is bred out of necessity. And so people solve problems that, hey, there's a problem, I want to fix it. And the people who fix the problems are rarely the ones who ever get paid for them.
But when you meet everyone's needs, the want
Then
to
people are
look,
kinder to each other.
Yeah, but
Society-
there's not a want to innovate. You know
Yes,
what I'm
there is.
saying?
Absolutely.
There's
there
not a
is.
drive.
Yeah. Imagine, Kevin, and Josh, imagine how much more, you know what I'm saying, enthused you would be about doing things that you loved if you had the time to do them.
well, yeah, I'd be doing this podcast every day.
Exactly. And there's a need for things like that. Entertainment.
Apparently not.
You know what I'm saying? No, there is. Entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Education, sharing of ideas. There's a need for that. Like everybody's position in life is not to go out there and build things or invent things. That's not, some people are meant to just tell jokes. And some people are meant to create beautiful works of art. And some people's you know what I'm saying, position in life is to be an actor, and provide us entertainment in that way. And some people's position is just to sing. And some people aren't good at any of those things. And that's okay. They're still valuable as a human being. Maybe they'll just have some kids and their kids will be, you know what I'm saying, like the next geniuses or the next people to innovate. But everybody's position isn't just simply to labor.
Yeah, but unless we invent robots or something like that, I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are passionate about doing road work.
Here's the thing, though, right?
or
Actually, there's
construction.
people that love asphalt. There's people that
I'm
love building
sure
things.
there
I
are.
love building
I'm
shit.
not enough to keep up with the roads. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
but
Do
there
it for a
is.
paycheck.
Imagine, hold on. Imagine how much more enthused you would be if you know what I'm saying you got
If I
a
got to
whole
do my
group of
crappy
people.
ass job,
Yeah,
just for out
listen,
of fun.
hold on. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. If you went to work, you know what I'm saying, every day,
Yeah.
right? Doing something that you actually cared about, and you didn't have to worry about how you were going to pay for your house payment, or how you were going to put food in your refrigerator, or how you were going to provide health care for your family, or how you were going to keep your lights on, or provide, clean water to your house. If none of those, you know what I'm saying, were an issue, if all of those needs, because those are needs, right? Those are needs for you to sustain life. If all of those needs were met, imagine how much more enthused you would be about doing whatever it is that your job is.
Yeah, but somebody's got to create. Like I, I guarantee there's not a guy that loves sucking out the porta shitter. There's not a guy that likes
Now there's
working.
people that listen. I'm telling when my dad used to tell me there's an ass for every seat. I promise
Like
you,
maybe one guy in
that
America,
somebody
that's
doesn't
his
mind doing
thing.
it.
Like I'm the best shit sucker there is. But I'm just saying there isn't enough for the demand for like the road crew, who has to have a portage on there. I mean, there's just not enough demand there. There wouldn't be because
Yeah, I
everybody
do
wants to do the
realize
easiest job.
there's
If
like
There would be
go
some
ahead.
people
no, there's
that
like
sees the
things
need
where
and would jump up and do the job, but wouldn't be enough to not enough to
If
like
there were
supply
more
the
people
demand.
you're gonna get
collectively,
pigeonholed into that job. So like in most communist, but maybe we haven't seen the right one yet, but in most communist things, if you show an aptitude for something, then you are pushed down that lane to make you the best at whatever you're good
yeah,
at.
whoever's the best, the most qualified to do a thing would do the thing.
But
Yeah.
and then if you don't, and it doesn't matter, like say, and that's where the difference between fascism, communism, socialism, whatever. Say you're really good at doing something, but you're really passionate about this. Well, you don't have that
Mhm.
option. And at some point, you're going to have to be like, no, we need more road workers. We need more soldiers. We need more
So hold
this.
on.
We need more
If
that.
Yeah, sure. So if I'm not great, you know what I'm saying? If I'm great at being a road worker, right? But it's not something that I necessarily want to do, and I had the free time, you know what I'm saying? If my time was freed up because my material conditions are met, housing, healthcare, education, food, water, electricity, guess what I would have time to do?
But in the society you're
Hold on, Josh.
describing,
Guess what I would have time to do?
better yourself.
Nope.
Whatever the hell you want.
No, create something, right? Create something that makes road working more efficient, that makes road working
Yeah.
automated
Robots.
or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And now I don't have to do it
You
anymore.
know what your future is describing? Wally. That's where we're headed. Okay. Look at
a bunch of spaceship,
I'm
bunch
just
of fat
saying.
people on a spaceship.
That's where we're headed. Everybody's sitting around doing whatever they want.
A
food
robot
on
cleaning up
demand.
our garbage, finding love.
That's your utopia.
My utopia is people actually caring about all individuals and not just some individuals. My utopia is, you know what I'm saying, everybody being able to have a place to call home, to have food to eat, you know what I'm saying? Like 1 in 5 children in the United States go to bed without food
Yeah,
every
and that's
single night.
horseshit. In
That's
our
a
country, I agree.
travesty.
That is horseshit.
That's a travesty. But when these bills come up before, you know what I'm saying, state legislators and federal legislators, the Republican Party every single time is like, nope, no free lunch programs, no free breakfast programs in the schools. Well, these kids aren't eating.
Well, when they get rid of that, we
Who
always
can
had
get
the
a good
green
education
punch
with their
cards when
stomach
I was in
rumbling?
school.
Yeah, we had it.
Yeah. But yeah, but now they're trying to get rid of it. What kind of child can concentrate on getting an education when they're starving?
No, yeah, I agree with that. But like, you're not going to be able to like right now, everything that all sounds great. Like I said, communist looks great on paper. The problem is somebody's got to pay for it, and rich people are not going to make
But
less money. So if they're going to
we don't have to
innovate,
pay for it.
it's not going to work
We don't have to pay for it. We don't have to pay for
because
it. We can literally create food for us and grow. We can start growing, you know what I'm saying, male and female fruit bearing and vegetable bearing plants in public spaces. You know why they stopped doing that?
no.
Yeah, but you would have to be an isolationist country.
Yeah, we would,
No,
because
we don't.
it's
Yeah,
either
we would,
that
because it's either
or
No.
you'd
that,
have to
because
start
you
a
couldn't
worldwide
have-
movement.
Yeah, and you would have to make a movement. But there's places in the Middle East that would never go through this. They would never, there's places in
Well, they can't because they
India
can't
would,
grow. But
China
we
would.
already
They would
throw
never
away.
would.
Yeah, but we already throw away 9 times the amount of food that we consume. But whatever surplus we have, we could sell it and make money.
But then you're talking about capitalism. That's
Yeah.
what capitalism is: trading
We
for
could
goods.
we can trade it for
I
other
have
goods.
something
No,
that you want, and you
in
have something that
communism
I
you
want.
trade
That's
for other goods.
capitalism.
In communism you trade for other goods.
Yeah, through service or whatever.
Yeah, so this would be a service.
every-
Hey,
like in
listen, you guys
communism,
have something
everything's
that we don't
supplied by the
produce here in the
state.
United States. Yeah, you have something else. So there's not everything that grows in New York doesn't grow in Idaho. And the things that grow in Idaho don't grow in Florida. And the things that grow in Florida don't grow, you know what I'm saying, in Oregon, and so on and so forth. So whatever state doesn't grow a thing, hey, listen, we grow the thing, we're going to send it to you. And the thing that you grow, you send it to us.
So then
Problem
communism
solved.
only applies to the people at the bottom, and then at the top, to make it all work, you have to have some type form of capitalism.
There
and
shouldn't
trade.
be anybody at the top.
There will be. There will always be somebody at the top. Always.
There doesn't have to be. When
There'll
there's
be a
people
Xi
that are
Jinping
abusing.
at the top of somewhere, anywhere.
Well, but they're not communists. China's not communist.
Yeah, they are.
Not even close. No, communism has no government.
It's literally called the
It's
CCP.
ruled by the people. Yeah, I know. So is in North Korea, it's called the Democratic People's, you know what I'm saying, Republic. Is North Korea democratic? No. So and the Nazis were called the National Socialist Party. Were they socialists? No.
How are they not?
Huh?
What were Nazis?
They didn't. Literally.
Well, they forced
Hitler
everybody
killed
to
all
work.
the socialists.
They,
Hitler said we have to rid this country of the Marxist socialist vermin.
They promised. Well, yeah, he did that. They promised jobs, and then they forced people to do work. But yeah, I mean, Nazis and Hitler were just horrible. But no, yeah, you're talking about the Republic of North Korea. That's not what China's saying. It's the Communist
Democratic
Party.
Republic, the Democratic Republic of North Korea.
Yeah,
and
so that's obviously a lie.
Yeah,
because
and so the same way that the CCP is a lie, the same way that
because
the
they
National
literally
Socialist
say
Party was a
Communist
lie.
Party.
Yeah, but that can say all they want. I could lay down in my garage tonight and say that I'm a car and make all the car noises with my mouth. It doesn't make me a car.
Well, that is true. But that's what it is.
But it's not communism. Communism is a stateless, meaning no government, classless, meaning no social classes, moneyless, meaning no currency society. And that's they're none of those things.
I mean, yes.
Unlike Kevin being rude and not saying anything,
I said I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, he said he'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't see communism on paper is great. I just don't think it will work because there's always somebody that's going to try to.
Those are the people that you penalize. The people trying to take more than they actually need.
Yes, there's always going to be those people. That's what they do. There's always people.
Yeah, those are the people you penalize. You don't penalize the people. You don't penalize the people participating. But listen, if all your material conditions are met, you have everything that you want and need out of life. Why do you need to take more? Where does this come from? This ideology come from? Because it doesn't come out of indigenous cultures.
People are easily persuaded, no matter what, even if they are comfortable. There's a bunch of
we can see that in American politics.
So there's always somebody that can persuade enough people to where he can be, let's start a militia or whatever. It's where he goes into power. I mean, that's what happens. Always, that's human society. There's always evil people who will prey on the weak or the weak-minded. Yeah. And I mean, it's just hard to have I wish that society you're talking about. I wish that could happen. I just don't think it can because just human nature.
It's not human nature though.
People are evil.
We've been socialized to believe this. And that's what I work on the most is trying to get people to understand that this is not human nature. And the way that we can tell that this is not human nature is to look at, you know what I'm saying, how the humans have evolved over time, you know what I'm saying, from different, geographical locations. And then we look at our closest, you know what I'm saying, human relative, which is the bonobo. And they collectively share everything.
Yeah, but I mean.
So if animals can figure it out, I know that we can.
Since the Egyptian period, I mean, there's always been evil people.
People believe that slaves built the pyramids, and they didn't.
No, they didn't. But there was always one ruler.
Aliens built the
You know,
pyramids.
and there were.
Oh my God. No, they did not.
Oh, I'm back, by the way.
Yeah, aliens built all the pyramids. That's why they're on
No,
the
the
same
pyramids were
grid.
built by people who believed, you know what I'm saying, in their leadership, believed in
They
their,
were
they
actually
wanted to
paid.
honor.
People were
Yeah.
actually paid to
Yeah.
build.
And they honored, you know what I'm saying? They love their job. Do you think that that was an easy job when we're talking
Hell
about road
no!
workers?
You know how
Yeah.
heavy
Do
those
you think they
blocks
weren't
were? They
sweating
didn't
and
have
dying out
machinery.
there?
They had ropes and pulleys, and I think they might have had mammoths. I'm not
And
sure.
they innovated without capitalism. Imagine that.
I would say that
Well,
was
there was a
before
ruler.
Advil.
No, that was
but
more of a
they probably just used
oligarchy.
opiates back then, so
Oh yeah, for sure.
take care of the back pain. You know, here's an interesting thing though. So if it's not aliens, just saying. But don't you find it odd that the Great Pyramids and then the Aztec pyramids were all built in a similar fashion at the same time on opposite sides of the planet?
On the same grid line too, like the latitude
Yeah.
line.
I
It's
so
fascinating. It's a weird
yeah,
coincidence.
You would almost think
it
there's like a common cultural thing to make them do that, but they're on opposite sides of the planet. So it's weird.
yeah. So they were fascinated by the sun, the moon, the stars in this time frame because
You're
they were
not a flat
trying to
earther, are you?
figure out. Yeah, no, they were trying to figure out. They were literally trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? How to get close to, uh, you know, this close to space.
I just think it's weird. Like it's completely now. Obviously, they didn't have totally awesome podcasts like this one to watch back then, so maybe they
Or
got
like
bored and
yours.
just stared at the stars. But it's just like it happened around the same
They had
time,
free
similar
time.
fashion.
They had free time to be innovative and creative. You know what I'm saying? And try to figure out the world.
I think days were probably a lot longer back then.
They weren't obligated. You know what I'm saying? To report to a 9 to 5 every day.
I don't think they had a daylight savings time.
Definitely not.
They had the Aztec calendar. It's perfect.
They did. It's
Until
pretty accurate. That was pretty
2012.
accurate. Yeah.
Hey, well, gentlemen, listen. As much as I've enjoyed the back and forth, I do have to get going.
Hey, yeah, we enjoyed you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Listen. I would love to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
love to have you
Anytime.
back. This is
Anytime you
fun.
have free time. Usually I think we're going to move to Thursdays.
Okay.
But
I'm working a
once
night
Jo-
shift job right now, so once I'm off that, we'll have more of a
Set
back and forth
schedule.
on. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because Fridays at 7 just don't seem to be the best. There's a lot going
Right.
on Fridays. Like
Yeah,
we
no
moved it
one's
to
no
today
one's home on Friday. Like a lot of
because
people
I'm
go
hoping
out, do other
Tyson
stuff on
beats the
Friday.
crap out of what's his face. So I wanted to see that, so that's why I
We
moved
shall
it to
see.
today.
Yeah.
We
Jake
shall
Paul,
see.
Paul and Tyson. Yeah, it should be a good fight though. I
He's
think.
I
got
don't
those
think
big
so.
shoulder muscles, so I think he's still got it.
I think
I don't
Tyson's
know.
got it, man. One good hit. That's all
Yeah,
need.
I think Jake Paul might have bit off a little bit more than he can chew in
Yeah, I
this
think
one.
Tyson. He's going. I think
When you
it's
look at
kinda-
his pre-fight pictures and the size of his shoulder
Tyson.
muscles
Yeah,
and
he's
everything,
His
yeah,
straps.
he's.
man.
Yeah.
That dude is.
I don't know. I think I'm so yeah. That's why I moved today. But yeah,
I
this was
don't want
fun.
to
I
be hit
enjoyed
by
it.
him. I couldn't imagine a
No.
person that wants to be hit by Tyson.
No, hell no.
Did you see the picture going around of Jake Paul at 20 and Tyson at 20?
Oh,
Oh.
massive difference.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Tyson was just as big at 20 as he is now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. But yeah, this was great. Like I had a lot of fun on this. So
Yeah. Before you leave, just let everybody know where they can find you. What what your
Sure.
what
Yeah, you
YouTube
can
stuff.
find me on TikTok at Mr. JonesX. You can find me at on YouTube at Mr. Jones_X and on Instagram at Mr. Jones_X. I also stream on Twitch. It's Tough Lifestyle. But yeah, like I said, it's been a great conversation, respectful conversation. I appreciate that, and yeah, I'd love to do it again sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
we love
enjoyed
that.
having you here. I love having a different perspective of things. Some things sometimes some things you like showed me that I didn't know or told me about that I didn't know. So that was awesome. So yeah, anytime you want to come back on, man, just let us know.
All right, I say we shoot for, you know what I'm saying, after the inauguration and see how things shake out.
that'd
Let's
be
go
good.
about somewhere in February. Give it a little
All right,
time and see
sounds
how it
good.
goes.
Sounds
All
good.
right, man.
All right,
All right.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
All
Appreciate
right,
you.
thanks so much.
sir.
Later.
Yep. Later.
Oh, that was a nice, interesting conversation.
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all.
No, it's some back and forth. The only thing that I was going to get into when I got back that I wish I could have asked him about is when he was talking about no government and all that stuff. You would have to be a proponent of the
That's
Second Amendment then. Because I don't know what you guys talked about after I left.
I talked about communism, how it doesn't work.
Well, no, it's just like you had.
Well, I told him like in any kind of society, there's always people who are going to be manipulative, who can control weak-minded people. There's always going to be weak-minded people. There's always going to be people who can manipulate them, and those people will rise to power no matter how just a society. And those people rise to power by either manipulating, then they'll start enforcing their power on the other people. Communism doesn't work for that reason.
Yeah, well, and
He's like, well, that's not what society, he tried to tell me like, that's not how human condition really is. I'm like, that's not how it always is. I'm like, yes, it is from the beginning.
At the bare bones, humanity is about survival.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like your basic, animal instincts is survival. So,
and people always go towards the strongest, and the strongest always fucking seem to rise to power. There's never even. It's never even.
Snarky assholes are the ones that rise to power. The Egyptian pyramids. That doesn't make it any easier to read. Were built about 3,000 years before. You know what? In that 3,000 years, Mr. Matt, did they fly over to South America and explain to them how to build the pyramids? As far as the scale of human
did they go to Egypt and go, hey, they took a boat across? Like, hey, how'd you build those things?
Time and millennia. I'm just saying. No, but like you would have to be like, if you had unlimited sustainable power, like we figured out free energy, like that 0 point energy thing, something kind of what he talks about could possibly, but that's the only way you could do it. We said it before. The only way that works is if your energy, your shelter, and your food are taken care of. And then, like I was saying, it's gonna be really hard not for everybody to turn into Wally. Because you know what everybody's going to want to do? Sit around and play video games.
Play video games, watch TV, and be on the internet.
But it would have to be a worldwide thing because you have to have a government. The federal government's number one goal, number one out of anything, is to protect its people. So if we went...
Maybe they had their own Moana that ventured out to Egypt and came back.
Possibly.
I mean... I don't know, man. That could be true.
Hey, I'll tell you this. It is super impressive how there's anybody on the island of Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Like people could say all they want about, and it was cool that Columbus came over and, those guys sailed the seas. The people that went to Hawaii did not come across the ocean.
They went on like small boats.
They were like, almost like, what are they called? The big party boats.
Yeah.
What are they called? Pontoon boats. They're almost like pontoon boats.
Yeah.
That was balls.
That was balls.
So yeah, I enjoyed the conversation though.
I did too. I mean, I still don't agree with a lot, but
that's what we need more in this country though. So I didn't agree with most of the stuff he says. Granted, it works on paper, and if we ever make free energy and food and all that stuff, and then people actually work for society and work to better themselves, and they can feel free to do that because all their base needs are met, then yeah, that might happen. But it's always nice to have a conversation with somebody who's on the polar opposite side that you are on. Walk away. We disagree with them, but I'd love to have him back on.
Absolutely. I'm glad he wanted to be back.
Comment below if you liked having our guest on and hearing a second point of view. And you never know. If we had people like break it down, he may have kicked our ass in a debate. We may have lost. It's 2 against 1. We got our asses kicked. I don't know.
We might have. I mean, I don't know.
Other than the fact that communist doesn't work, so we automatically win.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to let speak his mind. I mean, I didn't want to be too confrontational.
No, I mean, I thought it was a good conversation. I think we all kind of talked. I mean, you did your typical not shutting up. As soon as you hear my voice, Kevin, you stop talking. I will start muting your mic.
You kept making me laugh though. When he was trying to talk seriously, and I'm just laughing because you made some dumbass joke about how we have you podcast every day. You're like, obviously not.
There's a need for that. Obviously not
There's
for
a
ours.
need. There's a need for that. Obviously not.
Yeah, but that was I like that.
I enjoyed it. I did.
Mr. JonesX is welcome back anytime.
Absolutely. He was great. He was very polite. He brought his.
He was knowledgeable. He made me look some stuff up.
Yeah,
I've seen him. I've watched a couple. I did some, background stuff. I'm like, this guy, he has references, and he makes you reference your stuff, and I don't appreciate that.
No, I don't. We basically just go off of what we think, just common sense stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes you think. I mean, I'm
Thanks,
never
man.
going to agree because the problem is you're always going to, same thing with equity. There's going to be a line, and that's where you're capped. So the assumption is you're going to be, it's kind of like you'll own nothing and be happy. That's kind of what that is.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to be able to succeed in life. And that's really, at the end of the day, what drives rapid innovation.
Agreed.
It's like, see a need, fill a need. What's that from?
I don't know. Was it fucking Starship Troopers?
No, you know what it is?
Right.
Have you seen that cartoon movie Robots? I think it's a Mel Brooks movie.
A long time ago.
See a need, fill a need.
Well, I'm just saying, like, no one's going to want to suck out shit out of a porta potty just for the hell of it. Like maybe, like I said, maybe like 10 people in all of the debate. Like 10 people in all of the US actually enjoy sucking out shit. That's not, the demand's going to be higher than what's going to,
Well, here's the thing though, because and I brought it up like 6 times, I haven't finished my point though. The point about the way he made about not having a government, you can't do that unless you're a staunch supporter of the Second Amendment. But then then every citizen's got to have jets, tanks, and a rocket. Because what happens if you have another country that doesn't believe in you and they see this? There's no government here. These are just people. I mean,
waiting to be ruled.
Yeah. So then they attack. So what do? You have to have some type of structure, and then that structure gets manipulated for power. Money and power corrupts all. And it is true. It does happen. That's why a lot of these people, I mean, you could argue that rich people like Maddow, I do want to play this because this is just, you can tell me if you can make sense out of what she's saying. Okay. I want to see, but she makes $30 million a year
here for a second,
one
but
show
just getting very real. We now are just another one in the list of countries that has decided to, hey, what the heck? Let's try the strongman thing. There are many more countries in the world governed by that kind of a system than there are governed by ours. We are the only 248-year-old multiracial, pluralistic democracy in the world. And shall we keep it? A lot of our fellow Americans say we shouldn't. See, what they really don't want is for those tens of millions of Americans to wake up tomorrow feeling scrappy as hell. So now we can work full time on being fricking pirates, on being a thorn in the side to anyone who now intends to try to turn this country into some tin pot tyranny.
Wall Street.
Hope you are feeling scrappy. Hope you are tapping into your inner pirate energy. Because it is one thing to be a defender of the realm. It is another thing to be in opposition. And opposition can be a lot of things. It can be dangerous. It can also be fun.
Don't be boring.
It would have been nice to win the election. Didn't. Okay. Time to save the country.
Yeah, let's just say I'm the only pirate here. Okay. I'm the only pirate. What the hell was she saying?
I don't know.
And I'm not going to run through all this stuff because we're at an hour and 42 minutes. But I did want to talk about these two clips I'm going to play because we talk about the First Amendment a lot.
Or that, do you know MSNBC is being sold?
I heard they're coming. What is it? Viacom?
Yep.
You think Elon's going to buy them?
Because it's tanking. So is CNN just laid off a bunch of their top anchors too?
I hope it was Joe Scarborough.
I don't know.
Well, that's good. No, I want to play these two clips. These are things, and we are staunch. Okay, so Kevin is way more hardcore. Well, we're both pretty hardcore First Amendment. Kevin's like an absolutist.
Yeah.
Listen to these two clips, and you tell me if you feel like this is protected under the First Amendment.
I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done. If you voted for Trump, I think you're a fucking loser. I think you're stupid. I think you're a moron. I think you're evil. I think that you deserve to die by my hands. More specifically, by the rake that's in my hand that I'm using as a bludgeon on your fucking skull. You fucking loser.
You know what? Show me the rake.
I'm better than you. You're a horrible person. You don't deserve air. Fucking kill yourself before I get to you. Do it. Kill yourself right now. Reply with a video of you killing yourself.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to upload it?
I would go as far to say that I would purchase a Glock, and if you and I are walking on the same street and it's dark out and you're a white male, you have to be white for this to count, okay?
Don't point it out.
If you're a white male, even if you don't approach me, I will shoot you. Yeah, I know. So, has to be on the street, you and I. Has to be at nighttime. During the day,
that's gonna be hard for
not so much, but at nighttime.
One, she should put on a list.
And you have to have very white skin. And
how white? Like an albino?
I mean, she was pretty white.
Well, I'm just saying, like she said, like you have to have pretty white skin. Like,
pretty white.
Does she have like one of those like paint things?
It goes up next year. You're
lucky you tanned this week.
That is 100%. You cannot say that.
No, you can't say that. That's not an absolutist. You're making a threat.
Both of those people should have somebody knocking on the door.
Oh, one, I don't. They should definitely be put on a registry to where they can't buy a gun.
And two, that lady shouldn't be able to buy a rake.
No,
she described her murder weapon, Kevin.
And
I'm not going to say I'm not
say you
stupid
can't
or
buy
a
a rake.
moron.
Can they just go to a hoe then? All right. Well, it doesn't have all the points, but you know,
I think that would hurt way worse.
Like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just like you. That
No,
is
you can't threaten people or to murder people. I don't care. That's not the First Amendment. First Amendment would be like, I don't know.
You also can't be about inclusion and acceptance and be like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know that those
like
are.
I'll concede when people said death to America. Yes, they should be arrested for that because that's physically, saying, "Hey, I want to."
Yeah, but I mean, on that one too, though, like you're calling death to America.
You're not actually saying to people, though. You're not actually
like. I felt like those two were direct threats.
No, they are. They said white men for sure. One said, "Hey, I don't care if you even come up to me." Like they just want to start killing people. Like I doubt she's that good at aim, anyways.
Probably not.
I can guarantee she's never fired a gun in her life. She's probably never held one. She's basically just.
Oh, thank you, J Red.
Yeah, man.
I do want to ask you something though, just random.
Yeah.
Do you think Joe and Jill voted for Trump?
I think Jill did for sure.
I mean, why?
I think Joe might have. Did you see how happy he was when Trump came in today?
Yeah, he was
the happiest he's ever been. It's the happiest he's been since he became president.
He's like, I can't wait till this is over.
Like he's pissed.
Yeah,
like, I would be too. Like they kicked him out.
Well, we can go ahead and run through the. I don't know. We're going to skip over the happenings. I do want to say. Let's see. Why don't you run through the list of his? We're on. So why don't you run through the list of his appointments? You have right.
Yeah, I just gotta get that picture up real quick. So yeah, we'll do that real quick.
What did you think about? What did you think about him kicking out Pompeo and Haley? Hold on.
In my book, you're a winner too. I think you're a loser.
We're not doing that. That was the wrong clip.
We're not doing that.
Hold on. Hold on.
Where are we going here? I don't know what we're doing. Are we doing the?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening?
Hi, America. It's just me and you. I'm glad you came out and watched our podcast tonight. Now they can't hear you, Kevin. All right. So,
how dare you mute me?
We'll do some happenings of the week, and then we'll do the white slur of the week, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, let's go through the administration so far. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. What do you think about that one?
I'm okay with that, I guess. I mean, I think he'll do good.
I think so too. Attorney General Matt Gaetz. I don't know about this.
I'm not a huge fan of that one.
I don't
just
really
because
like,
I personally don't like Matt Gaetz.
I don't either. I don't like what he did with Kevin McCarthy because he didn't have a plan afterwards.
Way to reward a douche. He's literally a walking caricature.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. I think that's a good one.
I know you don't watch it very much, but I was listening to the Sean Ryan show episode that released. That
I heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is the right guy for the job.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's trying to get rid of all the bullshit. And when that guy what did it say?
I almost wonder if
Mr. Jones was like, hey, he's firing all these generals. Yeah, he's firing all the DEI woke generals that are trying to weaken. Yeah, they're trying to weaken the military.
Well, there is no, but that's technically the logic on that was wrong because that is where there is no dissent. There is no. He's the commander in chief. What he says gets done.
Yes.
And like what he was saying, what Pete was saying in that podcast is like the requirements for being deployed and all that stuff. If someone's like transitioning or whatever in the military, you're automatically ineligible for deployment.
Yep.
That's why it's a actual medical issue problem with being deployed. So I don't know. After watching that, I was like, I almost wonder if Sean Ryan sent that over to him and that's what got him the job.
Yeah. I guess what he did was, so Trump called him about it 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Then yesterday he interviewed him. Then Trump was like, all right, you got it. Didn't interview anybody else. He just liked what he said. And
I wonder if he's like, I don't know if he's the youngest, but I don't know. It's just something about him being on Fox News or something, but I think he'll be a great defense secretary.
Yeah. He schooled Harvard and Princeton. He's a major in the Army. Then he's got 2 Bronze Stars.
He was profiled and told to stand down during the inauguration. Yeah, I think it's a good pick.
Yeah. So Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem.
I mean, I think she'll do a good job. Turns out there's a lot to that job.
Yeah, and
there's a lot.
One thing we know, she knows how to put things down.
That's true.
Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I'm guessing like our fucking CIA.
We have way too
many.
CIA,
FBI, intelligence community.
So is that like the funnel where everything goes through?
Yeah, so she's the top of that. She oversees the CIA, FBI, NSA.
I think she'd do a good job with that.
Yeah. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz.
Sure.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe.
We'll see.
Yeah. Some of these, could be like a Bill Burr thing.
If he doesn't come out and be like
Ben Burr, what was his name? Bill Burr?
We killed Kennedy. He's full of shit.
White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles.
That's a record.
Yeah.
First woman to take that position, and she earned it.
Yep. EPA Administrator, Lee Zeldin.
I like the dude, so.
Yeah, I like him. Ambassador to the United Nations, Elise Stefanik.
Don't know her.
She was in the House. She's pretty cool. I like her. And I hope basically what like somebody said is she's good at like talking down to people, and that's what you got to do to dictators.
She's really good at being condescending and certain.
Yeah. So
you got to
do that to fucking dictators. So I don't mind it. White House Counsel Bill McKinley.
Never heard of him.
Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller.
That guy's very Poindexter-ish.
Yeah.
I like him. He's to the point, but...
Yeah, I agree. The Border Czar, Tom Homan.
That right there.
That was probably his best pick, period.
Oh, yeah.
That dude is straight to the point. You're
Is
here
there a way-
illegally, you're getting the fuck out.
Is there really a way of deporting people without separating families? Yeah. You just deport the whole family.
Well, like what he says, like, hey, if I'm a drunk driver and, I get arrested and my kid's in the car.
Yeah. Children get separated from their parents all the time.
If I have an abusive parent or if they're, that's going to be separated. Like, there's not going to bring the kid with the abusive parent. Deputy Chief of Staff, Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee.
I think it's a good pick.
And the newly created government efficiency advisors, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Rami Salami.
I like that. I think they'll do a good job of cutting out a bunch of bullshit. A lot of pork.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, he cut Twitter by like 80%.
Then Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff.
I don't know that person.
I don't know either. Then Dan Scavino, James Blair, Taylor Buttigieg, and also will take senior staff roles in the White House.
Have you seen that thing that RFK put out as far as like, I guess he was doing polling for cabinet members?
Yeah.
And the top of the ATF director was Brandon Herrera.
Really?
Yeah, Mr. AK-47.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He should totally make Brandon Herrera the deputy of the ATF.
I agree.
I would be totally fine with that. He was doing gun meme reviews today, and that was what it was about. So, yeah, I think that'll be good. I did want to touch on what do you think about him knocking out Haley and Pompeo? Good, bad?
Good.
Yeah.
They're both fucking rhinos. They're both
Haley's a rhino. Yeah, he is OG, buddy. And the left used to love him. Like when he was under Obama, they loved him.
Well,
you literally called Obama the deporter in chief.
Yeah, Obama had more deportations than Trump did.
Yeah, it was cool back then. Now it's inhumane.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that was Pompeo has just been a government too long. What did you think about Cocaine Mitch's move on the Senate majority
garbage
leader? Yeah, and
he's a garbage person. Now we got a garbage fucking
John Hughes Rhino Thune,
who scored like 32% on like the Freedom or whatever it is, the Patriot scale.
Yeah. What did you think of the FEMA scandal?
Yeah, FEMA's garbage too, and I hope fucking Elon Musk takes a look at it.
Yeah, considering that the lady who got fired came out and said, like, yeah, this wasn't me.
This came from above.
Yeah, like, I didn't do this. This was like, I was told to do this.
Yeah, this happened in North Carolina. This happened everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Which I could totally believe.
And we kind of talked about with Mr. Jones. I think we're all in agreement, including Mr. JonesX, that Tyson will beat the shit, hopefully, out of the guy's name I just forgot.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul? Jake Paul. I don't even got enough respect for that guy. I will always remember my.
He is a Trump supporter, though.
I don't care. He's a loser. You make a career out of picking fights with people past their prime.
Oh, I know.
Hey, I'm young and I got tattoos. You want to fight?
Yeah.
God, I hope Tyson. I know they're wearing bigger gloves.
Me and Chris went on a long discussion about this. Check out the episode.
Hey, you did. I watched it.
Yeah.
Well, I was on a boat in the Caribbean.
He basically tried to get into real boxing, then he figured out he couldn't make enough money doing it, so he went back to fighting celebrities.
I'm surprised anybody. I'm telling you, I think Tyson's gonna. If Tyson connects with him, even with bigger gloves, I think he's gonna rock him.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do the Trump truth?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do that Trump truth. So
we want to do Trump truth and white slur.
Yeah, then we'll wrap it up. All right, Trump truth.
What I say is what I say.
Trump truth of the week is thank you, God. won all the swing states, the popular vote by almost 7 million voters, got 322 electoral in every county in the Rio Grande Valley. They were all blue 8 years ago and got 1 million more Texas votes than in 2020. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the Trump truth of
What I say is what I say.
Electrical.
Hey, you don't make fun of me because I don't read good.
It was just funny.
What is my Trump impersonation any better? No.
It is getting better. It's not there yet, though.
Oh,
It's getting better, though.
Hey, buddy. I got 4 years to work on it.
You do.
Eh?
Hey, just let everybody know. You might as well watch us for the next 4 years. This is going to be a happy 4 years.
Happy 4 years.
Hopefully.
I'll tell you one thing, though. If he's doing something fucked up, we will point it out.
Those electrical votes are important.
Yeah, they're energizing. How do you think he energizes the base, you jerk? Oh, man. But if he's doing something wonky that we don't agree with, we will call it out.
Oh, absolutely.
We are not cultists at all.
Yeah. If something seems fucked up, we're going to call it out.
And remember, if you want to be on the show,
put a charge in.
Oh, this dude's just like, hey, what are you doing? You should be a stand-up comic because you're so funny.
Hey, Matt, why don't you come on the show, man?
He's going to be on the show. I just sent him the email.
Oh, did you?
Let me see. And just remember, if you want to be a guest on the show, we will talk to anyone about anything. We have no problem. We're very open-minded, and we'll have a discussion with anybody. But let's...
Like I said, we're probably more independent than anything because we really don't like a lot of Republicans. I mean, we have right-leaning values.
Yeah.
Well, why does it say we're going to end in 6 seconds?
I don't know. What the hell? I had to restart it.
Keep going?
It did keep going. All right, good.
All right.
That's weird.
Hey, Matt, are we still on?
I don't think we are. Oh, wait. Yeah, we are. Maybe. No, I don't think we are. No, yeah, we are. Matt, are we still on?
Matt. He must be, right? He just. I think we're still on.
Highly entertaining.
Yeah, you're on. Okay, because our thing timed like is counting down like your show will end in 5 seconds.
And we're wrapping.
Maybe we didn't have to end in 6 hours. Maybe we could just keep going.
Had the 6-hour episode, and
I was too drunk to argue.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll have anybody on. I would say we're constitutional Republican-ish. I mean, I don't know. I don't like anybody in Washington. I don't like
constitutionalist.
Yeah. I can't hear anything you're saying. What? That's weird.
That can't possibly be real. Like, how's it going to fucking record us, not let us talk?
Yeah, that's weird. Let me see something here.
I don't know if he's joking.
Your lips are moving and nothing's coming out. How about you turn up your volume because it's working on Rumble? Wait a minute, look horrendously unprofessional. I don't know. Maybe it's a YouTube thing. I don't know. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let's roll into the white slur of the week, Kevin. You would joke about something like this, but yeah, I don't know. You switch over to Rumble. It's working on Rumble.
Stupid YouTube.
I don't know. Let's roll into the white slur of the week, Kevin. Woo!
That's a honky.
All right, the white slur of the week this week is MAGA. Doesn't matter what your race, sex, or creed is. If you voted for Trump, you're either a white supremacist or you're a self-hating minority white supremacist. And that was the white slur of the week.
What's a honky?
We're working on X.
Yeah, we're working on everything. You know what?
F
Rumble
YouTube.
and X. Okay, Rumble and
Stop
X.
watching us on YouTube.
Yeah. Make sure you like and subscribe and share if you are on YouTube.
I don't know if we have anybody viewers on it. I never know if we have viewers on Rumble though.
We
See,
don't
you
have
can't comment
anyone
on
on
Rumble.
Facebook.
You can't comment on Rumble.
No, you can comment on Rumble. I just have to watch it. Right now, we have none.
That's why I'm still surprised that guy, Mr. Jones, came on our fucking podcast.
I'm glad he did. Oh, you did lie and you were joking. You just made us look stupid for nothing.
You effing jerk.
Oh, man. We already have problems with professionalism on this show.
Yeah.
No, but like,
now I'm about to drink a beer because I was sad and now I'm happy and my emotions are everywhere.
Well, you know, I'm glad you did come on because it's nice to have a discussion with somebody you disagree with. And how many people can do that?
This day and age, not many.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I disagree with most of the stuff you said, but I'm willing to talk to anybody and let's just talk it through it. And you might walk away and we both might have learned something. I kind of did learn some stuff.
I did learn some stuff.
I looked up on that stuff on Trump, which, I mean, I don't know. If you believe in communism, I could see that being a bad thing. As far as doing something that's going to help save American industry, it's a good thing. Yeah. Because if that was a bad thing with what he did with Saudi Arabia, it would have been all over the news.
No, and they even said it was a win for the White House.
Yeah. So it depends on how you look at it.
It basically made sure the economy didn't tank completely.
Yeah. If you take
more than it was.
If you take saving, yeah, because if the energy sector in the United States, as far as fuel collapsed, that'd be a huge economic hit. So if you take saving jobs and you correlate that to people getting rich, then yeah, you would think it was bad. Because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, no, if this was a bad thing, it would have been all over the news.
See, it wasn't my problem with like. I understand that inflation was going to happen. It was just bound to happen because of COVID, the way the country was ran and during COVID. But it was the way Biden handled.
That's why we don't talk about year 4, Kevin.
Well, I mean, it's also the way Biden came in and just kept with the policies and offered more money and offered more stimulus. You know, pumping more money into an economy that couldn't sustain it because no one was working.
Not letting people go to work.
Not making people get a vaccine.
People to inject themselves with an experimental vaccine.
Yeah.
All things that I don't like about it, and I'm super happy that Trump stopped talking about that.
Yeah.
That made me happy. So, yeah, this was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I look forward to having him back on and any guest who would like to be on. So, like we said, if you want to be on the show, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I might just use...
I will say that Mr. JonesX was probably one of the more highly educated people that we've talked to.
Including us.
Yeah, that I've talked to.
Yeah, he came.
I feel like he has surpassed our some college level of education.
Yeah, our blue collar, some college education. I always like that check mark I used to have, though. Some college.
That's right. I tried. I
failed.
I tried. That's exactly what that says, too. You know what? I gave it a shot and I quit.
You know, hire me. I quit college. Maybe I won't quit on you.
Yeah.
But maybe I will. We don't know.
We'll give her a shot again.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm going to look forward to him coming on in February. So,
yeah, I liked it. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and make sure you check out our merch shop in the link below. Until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this has been a super tubular, hour longer than normal, kick-ass episode of the Lost Art of Common Sense.
All right, before we go.
Just want
to put this out there. Hey, man, it's cool. You know, you'll be on our level.
Hey, you don't have to be smart to be a guest on here, okay? That was an anomaly.
Yeah. that may be the smartest person we put on this show.
I'm just
ever.
saying.
So
We
thank you, everybody.
appreciate the hell out of it. So,
All right, well, get out of here. Remember,
all right.
Common sense.
Common sense, everybody.
Common sense. Keep that bottle spinning.
And remember, don't be boring. Be a pirate. We'll see you next week, everybody.